Well, Happy New Year. Uh, this is a tragic day in America. A couple days now of tragedy out in California during the live stream. I will play some content where they talk, and then the rest of the live, I'll just be showing the visual and we'll talk where I give my commentary and not speak over the people giving their commentary during the news. Hello, Skylar. Thank you for joining me. Wildfires in the Los Angeles area have killed at least 5 people and forced nearly 180,000 people from their homes. Over 2,000 structures have been damaged, and over 100,000 people are without power. Also, in that commentary, this massive amount of fires have burned 27,000, equating to 20,000 football fields. How they come up with this number, I don't know. But I guess, there's people who are in the know pertaining to the square footage and acreage of an area, but that's the commentary at the moment. And there's a lot of ways you can dissect this. As I put in my title, Mother Nature, she's not happy. Whatever the issues are, you can say it's nature, winds, water, storms. One thing begets another, as we've learned with flooding. Flooding doesn't happen until you have rain, heavy storms. Same things with tornadoes. Usually rain comes with tornadoes. Tornadoes also cause fire. Power lines are down, they spark fires. And you have a conglomerate of all happening here. One thing you don't have, though, is the water. They don't have enough water. I think maybe in some areas, I did see some water stations up in those canyons where the helicopters were getting water, which was a good thing, but it's common sense. You got to try to equate firefighter per square footage. And there's, when you're talking about massive areas that are catching fire, would you have enough, manpower, woman power, plus water? So that's where we are right now. With these fires. Prayers for those in LA and have family and friends there. Once again, 27,000 acres, totaling 20,000 football fields. 180,000 people have been forced to leave their homes, 2,000 structures, 100,000 people without power, 5 people deceased, and that's 3 up from yesterday. Let's take a deep dive into what's going on out in LA County. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $BigAngie129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome to the live stream. Please beware of scams. Don't donate any money to anybody that calls your phone or websites. To donate to the Red Cross if need be. Okay? That's your best avenue, or hell, the local fire stations in LA County. If you want to donate, directly to someone, since they are the ones fighting the fire. But do not answer your phone, any unknown calls or anything sent through text messaging. Just ignore it, block it, and if so, report it to the local scam number in your state. I forgot what they call it, but you can Google it. They'll direct you on where to give the phone number. Let's see what's going on. Welcome to the Vault Excel. Mother Nature's angry, is she not? And as I have said before about greed, many people have left California because of the mortgages and the rent prices. And imagine all those who have left and come to Tennessee, Nashville. They're probably very happy that they're gone. Now, not happy that these people have lost their homes, died, the tragedy here, places being burned up, but glad they don't have to deal with it no more. So what is going to happen to those who live in California? Will they continue to stay? Because now you have to ask yourself, is it worth it to rebuild in those areas? And then I also said to myself, these are canyons. Maybe God don't want you living in those places. Just saying, just like in the mountains, same thing. Heavy rain, mudslides. Now your house is sliding off the mountain. And we had those fires too here in East Tennessee a few years ago in Gatlinburg, and it was a mess. It was a hot butter mess. People got trapped because they would not leave. And that's what I want to talk about during this live stream. The people that won't leave won't listen. And you're going to see some of this content as I play audio and visual. Looting, which makes no sense. Why are you looting in places that are burnt? If it's burnt up, there's nothing there. So that means you're trying to rob homes. There's a difference. Looting is one thing. Looting is getting things out of value. You can't get anything out of value of a burnt up place. So you're talking about robbery. So to say it's a misdemeanor is not correct. You mean breaking and entering, which should be a felony. Let me make that clear. We found looting with places like in New Orleans when it was water, flooding. You were able to get stuff out of the store that you can use. You can't loot out of stores that are burnt up. So I don't understand when they say looting. You mean they're looting in the area to places that are closed? But how would the people get in? Don't they have security, alarms? Say, woke now, I'll the details. Or are we talking about robbery? Deaths, 5 people dead. People sitting outside watching their neighbors' houses burn, yet won't leave their own home. Why not? Taking the fire hose to try to get the fire out of your neighbor's house, I guess, so your house won't catch on fire, instead of you to preserve your own safety. And I got a funny feeling that a lot of these people refuse to leave. That's why it is worse now. Roads backed up. Fire engines couldn't even get through the road because people waiting to the last minute to leave because you're assuming, oh, my house is safe. But as you see the embers fly with the wind, and why somebody can't understand that is a mystery to me. It's nature. One house is on fire, then the other houses around, they're not. Who are you mad at? Mother Nature? That's who you need to take your grievances up with. Just trying to keep it real. You can't question this. Horrific it is, but you can't question it. So to stay and watch is crazy to me. The news reporters, they're risking their lives, coughing on live streams. So I want you all to think about that. If you stay in your house, you can smell the smoke. Why would you want to stay in your house? And you can smell the smoke from outside. Number 2, the chance of your house catching a fire and you burning alive in your house. Stay woke. Welcome to the Vault XL.
Go to Malibu. Chris Wolf standing by, and earlier today we saw all those beach houses along PCH completely gone.
There they are, right there.
They are completely gone. Glenn, Lou, everybody, just a horrible scene of destruction out here along PCH and Malibu. I put my mask on because the air quality is still so bad out here. And if you are going out and about, wear a mask, protect yourself, protect your lungs. There is ash in the air and particulates and smoke and chemicals. It smells putrid out here. It's just heartbreaking and devastating. Look around me. Firefighters are rolling up and down PCH. They're dousing hot spots and flare-ups. Much of the terrain still smoldering, as you can see. We just passed miles and miles of lavish and legendary beachfront property, now reduced to just ash and rubble and steel or concrete beams and posts. Mostly brick fireplaces and chimneys are the only structures still standing. The death toll from this continuing disaster will likely rise as family members of those missing and government officials and public safety personnel search the endless sea of burned property throughout Southern California. Sadly, we are learning authorities discovered human remains. Let's go to that location across the street now, Josh. Look over there across PCH against the hillside. We are learning that authorities discovered human remains at this location along PCH near Duke's Restaurant and Las Flores Canyon Road, apparently late last night. All that's left is the cinder block retaining wall and brick fireplace and chimney, as you can see, and a couple of burned out cars parked out front. According to reports, a missing persons report led authorities to search that location destroyed by the Palisades fire, and they discovered human remains. The coroner's office will be investigating and, of course, trying to identify the victim officially. Circumstances are anyone's guess right now.
I want y'all to think about something. I want you to look at the structure itself and look at the back. Where is your yard? Look at the wall and look at the background. Where is a backyard? Was there ever a yard? Help me understand. No way I believe a house had no back door. No yard? Just asking. Because that's earth back there. So where is the yard? Because we're talking about from the curb to the chimney, then a wall. So was this an outdoor chimney? You wouldn't have very much space as a living room. I'm confused. Maybe I need to get some sleep. Just saying. Help me understand the square footage. Where is the backyard?
Is the victim trapped, incapacitated, unable to evacuate or call for help? Or did that individual simply decide not to leave until it was too late? Whatever the case, the outcome is heartbreaking and devastating for family members and loved ones, a story that sadly and likely will be repeated. The LA County Sheriff's Department released a statement earlier today in response to questions about reports of human remains found in both the Palisades and Eaton fires. The Sheriff's Department says, quote, information is still very preliminary, but there have been multiple deaths in the fire areas. Homicide investigators have not had the chance to process any of the scenes due to the dangerous conditions still at each location, such as spot fires, down power lines, and leaking gas. Once homicide investigators can assess the scenes, more information will be provided, end quote. Josh, let's swing back down south along PCH, down this way.
Beautiful highway.
Are down there, as you can see. Again, jumping out, dousing hot spots or flare-ups. Nothing is left of any of these beachfront homes.
This highway is iconic. It's been around for a long time. Many movies have been filmed along Pacific Coast Highway, if you did not know. Many movies, area views and movies. We have famous people who have also lost their homes. I will try to bring you a list of those individuals who have lost their homes. One person in particular, I'm going to go ahead and say it on the live. Somebody may not like it. I don't care. You were calling people, black people, some nasty names a couple years ago. You're mad at your girlfriend. You didn't like what she was wearing. Some people are going to say, now, Queen, don't do that. Oh, I'm going to do that because, see, the thing that we don't think about is what I've talked about is our tongue and our attitude and our dispositions. You have to know that you will have to stand account for your ways. And I thought about that tonight. I said, this person was so nasty to their girlfriend a couple years ago. So nasty. Didn't like what she was wearing. What did he say? Who are you dressing for, those niggers? Wow. That's deep. Who are you dressing for? Some niggers. And now your house is burnt down to the ground. I'll let that sit right there.
Homes, as far as the eye can see. PCH is closed to general traffic, and this is still an evacuation zone. However, we have seen CHP officers allowing some residents access with proper identification to come in and check on their properties. And for many of these people, nothing is left.
Nothing is left. Wow. Billy Crystal's home is gone. I believe he said he was there 45, 49 years. He and his wife, children raised there. House no longer there. Okay, I'm gonna go to my community page because there are videos I had saved there I wanted to show you all. I want to talk to you all very candidly because you know I am the queen and I don't mince words. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I won't mince words in this live stream for the obvious reason. I'm going to show you a video, and I want you to think about what you're about to hear. And I want to see who can catch the ignorance at the beginning of this video. I want to see who catches it in the chat. Listen very carefully.
Jen here, big businesses, small businesses. Let's start with this. Casa Nostra Trattoria. We're on the 15,300 block of Sunset Boulevard here. This is such a popular Italian restaurant. If you in the Palisades, even if you don't and you like Italian food, you have probably eaten here at one time or another. They have a beautiful or had a beautiful patio. It is all gone. You can actually see if photographer Tony Buttini, if you pan to the left and you can sort of see all the way there, that's actually Starbucks, or that was Starbucks. That's on the corner there. Starbucks is gone. A lady just actually walked up for us. She's not a local. She was looking for the Starbucks, hoping it was open. She didn't even know where it was. She couldn't see it because it has been destroyed. Let's walk up the street. We don't know if this is part of the restaurant. I've been here. I've eaten.
Who caught that? 37 people watching. Who caught that? $45 people watching. They didn't catch it, the ones that just came in, the 12. What about it, Dawn? What about the Starbucks? Y'all typing too slow. What about the Starbucks? Exactly. Why are you looking for a Starbucks? And the places are burnt down on the street. You mean to tell me driving down the street, you one can't smell smoke. Nobody's on the street driving. She's not from this area. Well, where is she from? London? Help me understand. Where is she from? Man, why are you on a street where there are burnt buildings looking for coffee? Please explain to the queen. Yeah, I'm going to talk shit during this live because you all have got to stop doing this. You do the same thing every time something bad happens. You act like you cannot think for yourself. Well, I drink coffee too, but I am not getting ready to, one, sit in this place with burnt buildings near me. Worried about coffee, a cat, a dog, nothing. A Roku TV, whatever. You know the drill. You live out there. You know the drill. Most of us, we don't know the drill, but the point is, when you smell smoke, you know water's coming, heavy storms, you have to use common. These people are acting like they're just children. And I'm not trying to be mean, but this shit has got to stop. They have shown street for street for street, nobody's on the street driving. You just decide, with all this going on, you gotta have Starbucks coffee. That's all you're thinking about? You're not gonna make me believe whatever street she turned on, she couldn't tell, I smell smoke. The buildings are gone. How are you gonna miss a row of buildings? The lady just told you, the Starbucks is up the street. I'm dead.
I've eaten here. I don't remember, but this is destroyed. And I want to show you what once was Bank of America. This is just all mangled metal now. There may have been another business here, unclear. No signs. Everything has just been destroyed. Take a look at the Bank of America ATMs. They've basically just melted. When we assume with all the money inside, but
Exactly.
they're gone.
All the money.
And then we walk towards the main branch doors here, again on the 15,300 block of Sunset Boulevard, and look inside. Everything is gone. And one of the questions I had for my photographer, asked him if he knew, what happens to the safe? I mean, we're always told to put our valuables, our treasures, in the safe. What happens when a bank burns to the ground? Does the safe remain standing, or is the heat simply...
Very good point. Because jewelry can withstand a certain amount of heat. I'm not sure the amount, but jewelry has been found, naturally in fires. So you think about putting your money in the bank, in a vault, documents, important documents, wills, things like that. Now, all that's burned up in the bank. God forbid your house is burnt up too. So you don't have no documentation of nothing. Nothing. And if you put your fine jewels in this bank, well, they're gone perhaps. Don't know. Somebody have to go and get the vault and open them up and see if there's some jewelry withstood the heat. But just food for thought. Nothing is forever. That's the point. Nothing is forever. Not a purse, not a shoe, not a structure, ATM machine, nothing. And the thing that people don't seem to understand, one second, everybody, get this nonsense out of here, is that you cannot play around with this type of situation. Power lines are down, which means there are open wires swinging about on the ground, and you want to walk by to film you a YouTube video, take pictures, drive through, just like I was looking at a YouTube video earlier where a guy's riding by, filming, and he's got the nerve to say, oh yeah, that's going to blow up soon. That's going to blow up soon. You just pray your ass don't blow up while you trying to make a YouTube video. See, this is what I'm talking about, where nobody acts like they got no damn sense. You know you don't go nowhere near open power lines, hanging or on the ground. Yes, people want a visual. The news people are on the ground. It's still dangerous for them to be down there. They're hacking and coughing during the live stream, but yet they're telling us, be careful. Be careful. You be careful. You out there filming. So you're worse off than the person in the house that's trying to stay there and preserve their house. America, y'all got to get it together. Y'all have got to get it together. Standing outside watching your neighbor's house burn. Why? Why aren't you thinking to yourself, let me pack me a bag and get whatever I can out of this house just in case? Number 2, pulling out a water hose, trying to put out the fire at your neighbor's house for the obvious reason. You don't want your house to burn. But what is that little water hose going to do when 1 or 2 rooms are already engulfed in flames? I watched this yesterday. I was stunned. Looking at this man with a water hose on the top stair landing, trying to put water into the neighbor's house, and I guess the roof or whatever was burning. And I was just looking like, what in the hell is that water hose going to do? It's not even enough pressure coming out of the water hose to put the fire out. And you are standing there risking your own life because if the wind decided to blow that fire over to your house, now you're going to be in there rushing, trying to get stuff at the last minute and get out of your damn house. Come on, people. Also, 3, staying in your house. Why are you risking your livelihood? God forbid you have pets. Why are you staying in that house thinking the fire won't come to your location? Because I think a lot of people thought that until they realized, oops, my house is on fire. You staying in your house is not going to make the fire not touch your house. They just told you the wind was blowing the embers. That's why one house would be on fire, then another house wouldn't be on fire. And yet I was looking at someone's chat, a news channel's chat, and some stupid person was asking, how the embers get that far? What do you mean? What do you mean, how did the embers get that far? The wind is blowing, for God's sake. You don't know that? And they keep telling the people that. So what I want people to do is look at the fire burning at night. Because some people just don't seem to understand what a fire actually is and what it does. The place is burning at night. You can see the fire glowing. You can see the wind blowing. And you can see houses have caught on fire. Then I say you need to see a psychiatrist because there's something damn wrong with your damn brain. So look at you filmed at night, which I saw last night. Horses being moved at the last minute, in the dark, embers flying, fire flying, smoke brewing. It was a sight. And that is the worst time to try to maneuver during a fire is at night. But like most people, they don't think the area that they are in is going to be affected. Now, some kind animal rescue housed a lot of horses. I believe that was yesterday. That was very kind of them to let random people bring their animals there to store their horses. But then, God forbid, the worst case scenario there, I mean, because they had a lot of stalls. They had like 300 stalls. I said, Lord have mercy. Pray that the fire don't come where they got those horses, where these people have stored their horses. Because now imagine trying to remove 200, 300 horses. I'm just saying.
Too intense and everything inside is destroyed. Melvin, you mentioned very important mom and pop businesses. Take a look. We're going to cross the street in our next live shot. But all of those businesses that you see destroyed, those are small shops, family owned. We're talking about a hair salon, a nail salon, a gymnastics studio, Palisades Flowers. They are all gone. Those are all small businesses. How they will survive this? Well, that remains to be seen. But a lot of destruction here on Sunset Boulevard in Pacific Palisades, including this very popular strip mall again, the Italian restaurant, the Starbucks, the Bank of America. And this is just one of several banks that have been destroyed here.
Okay, this is the point I was trying to make earlier. Look at all these buildings, okay? Naturally, that's business, business, business. I don't know how many there are, how long the block runs. So why would you be out here looking for coffee on an area where you don't even see people walking around? Have you all seen anybody walking? I haven't. Did you see any cars go by while she was filming? I didn't. And yet somebody says, I need Starbucks. So let me guess. The area she came from, this woman, must have had a lot of fire. And so she said to herself, I'm thirsty. I need Starbucks coffee. Let me drive to the nearest one, but yet you still can't see these are burnt down buildings. Please, somebody, I'm drowning. Help me understand. Now, it's no telling how many buildings were burned on this side of the street, that side of the street, or whichever direction the lady came from, to where she couldn't see burned out buildings. Greed for coffee. Make it make sense.
In the Palisades. We will send it back to you and we'll have much more coming up on Good Day LA. That is just, Gigi, that is just surreal to look at.
Yes.
It really, you talk about Hollywood, it does look like a movie set. It really
Popcorn,
does.
Drove by there on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh.
We still have her. Look at that. It's just, can't even begin to see where one business started, the other ended. And if anybody knows what happens to the safe, can you just send me a message on social media or call our station and let me know? I'm just curious because, you know, we're always told, don't keep your valuables at home. Put everything in the safe. Put your important documents at the bank. Keep everything in the bank. What happens when a bank burns down?
It burns down, honey.
That's right.
Yeah, Gigi, just so as we're talking to you, Stu is overhead in Skyfox, and we're getting some of the first. Oh, okay. Well, somebody's overhead in in a helicopter. It's not Stu, my bad. Who has given us aerial perspective, Gigi, of the scorched Pacific Palisades, pictures that we weren't able to see yesterday naturally because of those raging Santa Ana winds.
Look at this.
Now this morning, as the sun begins to rise, and Gigi, it is just extraordinary.
And then Gigi, you see some homes, and I'm sure you saw this on the ground firsthand, some homes and businesses that are just untouched almost. And then everything around that area is scorched. And actually, walk with me, photographer again, Tony Butita. I'm always dragging him along with me as I see things to show you. Look across the street, U.S. Bank, and all those shops right there. I think we see Saint Laurent across the street.
Who's
all
driving down the street? Nobody.
Anyway, maybe smoke damage, maybe some other damage deep inside. We're also watching as a convoy of firefighters arrives, a new convoy from Happy Valley Fire Department. Excuse me.
Oh,
Yeah. The air quality is a little bit tough, but we see Happy Valley Mountain Gate Fire Department. These must be maybe from Northern California. I don't know where these cities are, but they have put together Shasta. So maybe from Northern California, they're just rolling in to assist our local firefighters. But you see the shops across the street, they all appear to be in touch. As a matter of fact, it appears that they have power. There's no power on this side of the street.
Okay, so now they've panned down farther down the street, okay? So you get an area view of the streets. You don't see anyone out. There are no cars parked. There's nobody driving, walking, talking. So once again, I'm going to say it. Why would you be out looking for coffee, knowing that there are fires, knowing that the air is thick with smoke, chemicals? Make it make sense. There's nobody out. It's a dead man's town. Nobody is out, but one person is riding around looking for coffee, Starbucks. You can't make me understand this. And 9 times out of 10, people should be getting alerts on their phone to alert them of the areas that have no power, no water, and also the fires. Lord have mercy.
But they're all lit up, so maybe power has not been shut off on that side. It's just wherever the embers decide to go.
That's right.
Is what goes up.
And fire companies from all across various states have come to help and to help us here.
That's right. It's a multi-state effort.
Multi-state effort. Yeah, Gigi.
Yeah.
Nobody out.
A mutual aid situation. It is amazing how coordinated they are, how the local fire departments in different...
Look down the street. You can look down the street, farther down. You don't see nobody. I'm not trying to be a bitch, but it's time for people to stop doing this stupid stuff when there is a catastrophe. You got to get some common sense about yourself. This is why people get hurt every year. People drown, people get caught in fires because you refuse to think. There's nobody out but the fire trucks. Those are the only people that drove by that street while she's filming, and I am 5 minutes into the video. There's nobody outside, nobody running, no children are playing, nobody selling lemonade, and yet you would say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna ride around and look for me some Starbucks coffee. Lord have mercy. I don't understand. And they're telling people not to be out. They done told them that 2 days ago. Not to be out wandering around, looking around. And right now, they have the right to detain you. You going in areas that are, fire stricken. It will be a misdemeanor. If you're caught looting, possibly a felony. Now I get it. Somebody might be looking for their mom, their dad, but you still have to use common sense Just like when we had the floods a couple of months ago, up the highway, the sheriff, they blocked off the road because the town had flooded. So they're letting you know you don't want to go in that direction unless you want to drown. So what you going to do? Get mad? I got to get in there. I got to get in there. And do what? See if your car can float? You have to surrender. And that is something I'm seeing with us as people. And you know, all types of situations, not just tragedy, but just daily situations dealing with human beings. We refuse to surrender. And maybe God is trying to tell the world, not just California, the world something. One, you don't listen. One, you are selfish. Two, you're selfish. You all are selfish people. Well, you won't surrender. Even when I give you free will. So that's the one thing they talk about in the Bible. You do what you want to do. That's on you. But God has given you free will. So you either use it or you don't. So I'm going to say it again. You're in a war zone, basically. Well, what are you going to do? You going to stand around and talk to yourself? Burn up? Smell smoke until you pass out? Or you're going to try to take heed and go to higher ground to safety? Free will.
Regions, Clark County, Nevada, they've put together a battalion, a squad made up of different trucks, different firefighters from their local smaller departments. So one department says, we'll send the water tender. Another department says, we'll put in the engine. Another department says, we'll send a ladder truck. And they put together a unit, and that unit travels to wherever they're needed to help out the local fire departments.
And so, you know, what's extraordinary is to see these well-known establishments, as we've talked about, that are cornerstones in this community that are now no more, that are gone. And I think that for many people, the fact that this was such a well-populated community, the Pacific Palisades, many of us would think that, a fire couldn't necessarily get here and take down this community, and yet it has.
But there's so who have just even if it's flashes of memories of these areas, like you know, my daughter had her graduation ceremony here, or there was a wedding dinner that was held, you know, in some areas. This is my coffee shop. This was just where I used to go. It's any number of things. It's just devastating to see some of these well-known areas that no more. There are no other words for that. That's right. Casa Nostra is such a popular Italian restaurant here on Sunset Boulevard. I mean, so many folks know it. So many folks meet here to have dinner, and not necessarily just local folks, but you meet people here for dinner. They were well known for their patio, their service, their food, and that's gone. And we have to imagine it is a smaller, independently owned business affected.
And if you're the business owner that had to watch this happen, or now go survey the damage, oh my goodness. We can only imagine.
Look at the inside. The restaurant is completely gone.
Gigi,
thank you for your reporting out there. And to the left.
Go ahead. To the left.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was just going to say, to the left, now blended into the Italian restaurant, is the Starbucks. Of course, Starbucks is a corporation. It will be easier for them to rebuild, most likely, if they choose to rebuild in this community. But now it's just one lot of mingled metal and the roof and concrete. Look at that.
Oh, my goodness.
Gigi, thank you. Those are some incredible visuals.
Wow. One's going to say, how did we get here? Lord have mercy. Sunset, very popular strip, Los Angeles. Business is gone. As the Lord said, I can give it him, I can take it away. And that's what people need to understand. If you don't believe in the Bible, that is your choice. Is this nature? Of course. High winds, You don't have control over the winds, but it's still something to think about. The fire is going, you know what I'm saying, from place to place to place, place to place to place. And that's what I think most of the people are shocked about, is that it jumped from place to place. And I'm telling you, when you watch it at night, it's even more dramatic, because you get to see the darkness and you get to see the poignancy of the fires themselves and the embers blowing in the dark. And you can then visualize, I think, better how these places caught on fire and why one structure is untouched and then another building next to it, or two, buildings or houses down, it's burned to the ground. Some of the structures have also caved in, such as the homes, and that is a scary, scary situation. The houses have caved in. And I think most of you know that can also make for a worst case situation. Because I was thinking that yesterday when I was looking at some of the homes that were already destroyed, and then I was looking in like the backyard, and then there was a wall, and then that wall separated like another house, like on another street. And I thought, oh my God, what if that house caved in and all that's going to fall down on the next property? And that's exactly what has happened. Some of the homes now, the structures have fallen. Wow, wow, wow. That's scary. I was trying to find KTLA, because I do like that news. Oh, Lordy, Lord, have mercy. Just go, everybody. Welcome to the Vault XL. Let's see what Fox is talking about.
Yeah, we got those communications too. We were frustrated and called our Office of Emergency Management right away to get it addressed. There was a corrective notification that came out. And as you may have just heard recently at the press conference, as the sheriff said, is in addition to our Director of Emergency Management, we use technology now to communicate with all of our constituents at a time like this. And it is sincerely unfortunate that this technological glitch happened. And we know that going forward, we're going to continue to communicate with people just as people are communicating with us using technology. And we are working to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Was it a glitch or was it human error? Was it somebody just said all hands on deck, hit the wrong button, if you will, or was it actually a technical glitch?
From what I understand, it was a technical glitch.
I mean, you understand how there's already so much misinformation and so much distrust and all the rest of it, how that just makes a lot of people wonder about the competence of the entire operation. And then there's potentially a boy who cried wolf effect, that when you actually do need to use that system, there's people that are going to be wondering, is this one a false flag?
Well, that communication was one communication, but what I have seen consistently since Tuesday morning is unprecedented excellence from those who are on the front lines fighting this fire and working to keep people informed and keep people safe. So errors do happen. And
I don't know what they're talking about.
Certainly one. But what I can say
Google and
is
see
I
what
have
they're saying.
confidence in the people who are leading this effort. Nothing like this have we ever seen in Los Angeles. And to see the people who are coming into unified command, to see how seriously people are taking this effort, to see how they're digging deeper while they are facing exhaustion themselves and waiting for their own relief as we're calling in additional backup. That is what I am focused on and making sure they are supported, because we have excellent people leading this effort, and we will continue to make sure we're doing all that we can to keep people informed and safe.
What lessons can you learn from your response for all of these fires moving forward? You talked about the lessons learned from Woolsey. What lessons are you learning right now?
Well, as has been discussed, the unprecedented winds that we saw during these red flag conditions. We've seen strong winds to see.
Okay, I'm going to read to you what they're talking about. Hold on, you guys.
Winds that went up to 100 miles an hour under.
Emergency alert sent to all Los Angeles County residents. Oh, Lord, it's won't let me play it. What is the deal? Well, let me find it somewhere else. Hold on. Everything's acting up now. Let's see. One day ago. Well, I can't. Hold on, you guys. I'm trying to bring you information on what she's talking about. It says local officials quickly clarified that no new evacuation orders had been issued for Los Angeles, with the city's emergency management department attributing the alert to a technical error. The warning directed recipients to alertla.org, which crashed shortly after the message was sent. So that's what she's talking about there. A glitch in the system, which sent out an alert, but it was a mistake. It said, as a message from the Los Angeles Fire Department, an evacuation warning, I guess, was in effect, but it wasn't true. Nonetheless, it's still, the fires haven't stopped. Even when the smoke was supposed to go down, what was it, yesterday, today, you still got fires brewing.
We talked about yesterday after the meeting with President Biden, water pressure. There's been a lot made of the fact that there wasn't water for some of the firefighters at some point during the fight in Pacific Palisades. What sort of changes do you think need to be done that are realistic to be done in the months and years ahead so we don't have a situation like that again?
Well, we've heard from the chief at LADWP what the circumstances were with their infrastructure and why they were so challenged. And a big part of that was not being able to deploy an aerial component. When we saw, for example, today, when we were able to deploy the aerial in the Topanga area that we hadn't been able to a couple days earlier, we saw what a difference it has made. And I know that the residents of Topanga have been particularly concerned about making sure they saw that aerial approach and making sure that they saw boots on the ground. And I'm glad that LA County Fire has prioritized this area in terms of the Palisades fire today. But I also know that we have in the county infrastructure that we also have to harden, because we're hearing reports about how when we challenge our water systems, just how difficult it is to keep going. Luckily, we have many reservoirs, but I did speak with the administration also specifically about water infrastructure. As you know, as I started my term as chair, we focused on water resiliency in the region, and that means making sure we have the infrastructure to deal with 21st century realities. There is no longer a fire season. This time last year, we were talking about the mudslides and landslides in Topanga Canyon, and now we're talking about fires in the exact same area. So we have to make sure we're investing in the infrastructure that deals with these extreme climate events. And I know that the Biden administration, one of their signature initiatives.
Well, I'm gonna stop here. Hello, Perspective. Thank you for joining us. One official said not to drink that water just because of what's flying in the air, the chemicals. You don't want to trust the water, and I think that's possibly a good idea, because the newscaster already told you the air was putrid. So you do have to use deduction. With chemicals in the air from all these structures burning, chemicals burning inside of the structures, common sense. Do you really want to be drinking the water? Possibly not. And we already know that when there are natural disasters, it's probably not a good idea to drink the water. Just saying. Now, she's talking about reserves, so on and so forth, but I don't know if I'd be drinking the water. Just saying.
Initiatives has been investment in that kind of infrastructure, and I know we're going to take advantage of that to help make our systems even more resilient.
Let me just ask one final question, because I'm hearing from some of your constituents in real time. And as we've talked about here in our coverage, this wasn't a surprise, right? Our meteorologists were forecasting the destructive and life-threatening winds that were coming this week and forecasted for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Here we are.
What a
that
mess.
was last week. Did your office contact the Office of Emergency Management to have a plan in place for these life-threatening winds?
Absolutely. We've been planning for months, meeting with different neighborhoods throughout the district to plan making sure that people were signed up for alerts and communication. And our Office of Emergency Management has been a part of all of those efforts. So going into this weekend, not only was our Office of Emergency Management working with our respective county partners, but they were communicating actively with the city. We also know that the state was working with us, and state resources were deployed over this past weekend, standing ready at alert should they be needed. And thank goodness they were deployed in such a way, and they continue to be. So there was a lot of preparation and communication in anticipation of what we would see this week. We knew that the conditions were going to be severe. Never did we count on the number of fires happening concurrently, but especially at the magnitude that we're seeing combined with the extreme winds. Though we certainly contemplate extreme circumstances based on the reports that we were seeing from the National Weather Service. So I think we prepared in the ways that we knew how and in the ways that we could, and we will now look at how we prepared and whether there are different kinds of decisions we want to make based on the conditions that we evaluated going into this circumstance.
Right, that was Lindsay.
Okay, I want to read something to you all that you may not know. And then I'm going to bring you information about it and update. On March 20th, 2024, State Farm announced it wouldn't renew 30,000 homeowners insurance policies in California, including more than 1,000 policies in Los Angeles Pacific Palisades area, where you are seeing destruction at the current moment. State Farm said that non-renewals would occur on a rolling basis over the year beginning July 3rd, 2024. Now, let's hear why these policies were canceled. Let's see, this was uploaded today at 1 o'clock. As wildfires ripped through the Pacific Palisades in Los Angeles County, California, hundreds have been left without homeowners insurance after State Farm canceled their policies months ago, per report. So now what I read to you earlier was last year's article. Now we hear months ago policies were canceled. This is crazy. So a person's going to pay a mortgage on a house and or own a house with no insurance. So that means you'd have to then go to another company and get insurance. And then once they find out yours has been canceled, because these insurance companies have a way of knowing who you had insurance with last, what happens to the next company you go to get homeowners insurance? I'm curious. According to a report from Newsweek, State Farm reportedly justified their actions by citing the growing cost of wildfires in the area and the company's attempt to reduce its own financial risk. In a statement sent to the news outlet, a State Farm representative said the top priority of the company is the safety of their employees and customers who are currently in the path of wildfires. Our number one priority right now is the safety of our customers, agents, and employees impacted by the fires and assisting our customers in the midst of this tragedy, the statement said. Okay. However, in a report sent to California's Commissioner of Insurance, Ricardo Lara, in March 2024, State Farm General Insurance Company, which is an almost exclusive California-only insurer, said the cancellation, wow, so now we know. Basically, the only insurer, remember I just asked that? I said, what about if you go to the next insurance company, will they insure you? Because they're going to know that you got canceled over at State Farm. So they're saying, which is an almost exclusive California-only insurer, said the cancellation of policies was necessary because State Farm's financial position has severely deteriorated and the company is concerned about its financial well-being. State Farm's policyholder surplus was around $2.2 billion and $1.3 billion at the end of 2022 and 2023, respectively, in stark contrast to the $4.1 billion in surplus at the end of 2016. The report, which includes details on policy cancellations across California zip codes, including 90210 in Beverly Hills and 90272 in the Pacific Palisades, shows where 1,626 policies canceled in the Palisades, while Beverly Hills had 698 policies canceled. SFG's risk exposure grew tremendously in the last few years, with construction cost inflation being a major driver. Taken together, these trends have resulted in surplus of less than 50 cents for every dollar of risk as measured by net written premium we face today, which makes SFG's financial strength less than a quarter what it was at year-end 2016, State Farm executives wrote in the report. The report then goes on to note that the increase in exposure forces the company to rely on reinsurance cover, which puts further pressure on the company's surplus. The swift capital depletion of SFG is an alarm signaling the grave need for rapid and transformational action, including the critical need for rapid review and approval of currently pending and future rate filings. We take very seriously our responsibility to be there for customers who experience a claim, and our actions are with that goal at the fore. A financial failure of SFG will detrimentally impact the entire market, an outcome we are all trying to avoid. According to CNN, between 2020 and 2022, companies declined to renew 2.8 million homeowner policies in the state. Wow, that's a lot. According to the most recent data from California Department of Insurance, that includes 531,000 Los Angeles County, where fires are currently raging. Those policies were not renewed by homeowners, according to an insurance industry trade-up, but most of those policies were canceled by the insurers. So while some of you are in these chats talking about they got insurance, some of them don't. Some of them don't. It's right here. Between 20 and 22, insurance companies, not just that one, not just State Farm, companies declined to renew 2.8 million homeowner policies in the state. Now you got to count how many people live in LA and Los Angeles County. We'll also, touch on that. Matter of fact, we're going to Google. Hello, everybody. Welcome. What is the population of LA County? $9.66 million as of July 1st, 2023. Wow. Woo-hoo-hoo, my goodness. Let's go to World Population Review. So I want you to think about what I just read to you. All the insurance policies canceled versus the population of the entire LA County of people who are homeowners and those who rent. At 2024, 9,606,925. And count State Farm not renewing insurances, the main insurer of the state of California, and other insurances not taking you on as a client for the risk of having to pay out money on your home if your house caught on fire. So then we're going to say, well, damn, would you say the same to me about earthquake insurance? Because that's the thing I'm learning about insurance. You have to be particular about what you're paying for. So even with full coverage, as I learned a few years back, I thought, oh, somebody broke the car window out. I got full coverage. Nope. I had to pay out of pocket oh, you don't have comprehensive. And I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me that when I was signing up? Because I don't remember you saying, oh, do you want comprehensive? If they did, I don't remember. But you're supposed to explain all that. Hey, comprehensive covers a tree falling on your car, someone breaks out your window, someone vandalizes the car. You get where I'm going. So basically, full coverage is just if somebody hits my damn car. But other than that, anything else, I got to pay extra on an insurance policy. So I guess the home owner's insurance is the same. You got to stipulate, I want full coverage insurance on my house, duh. Plus, if it catches fire and in a flood and if a tree falls on my house. Well, I'll be damned.
Is the 3rd District Supervisor on the LA County Board of Supervisors. She represents the district where thousands of structures were destroyed as part of the Palisades fire. Our coverage with Fox LA continues in a moment.
9 million people in the county. I want you to think about that. Now you match how many people do not have insurance right now. So I bet a lot of you didn't know that because Queen didn't know either. Okay? Queen didn't know either. That most of these people probably do not have insurance on their $1 million house. So the only thing that's going to save you is if you are a millionaire/billionaire living in California, you can take the money out of your bank, your stocks, your investments, and go buy you and possibly buy you a house in a place that you pray you can get homeowners insurance. Now you talk about a blow to the spirit. Wow, 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 wow. I kind of like coverage.
We're back here on Altapine Drive, and when we got here, when there were some deputies here, we'd heard a report that somebody had possibly lost their life on this street. Unfortunately, it's been confirmed. When we talked to Kamiko Nickerson, this was your family home. You grew up here, and it was your father, you said, you lost him during the fire.
Yes, my dad, Rodney Nickerson, he passed away in his bed.
So, you tell me what happened. You said you had someone come check on him because you hadn't heard from him.
Yeah, my son had been here. I had actually heard from him all day, and my son had been here with him and all my neighbors, and he was gathering some things, packing up his car a bit, and he said that he was going to gather up his stuff, but he said he was going to stay here too. He said that he felt this was going to pass over and that he would be here, and he did position himself, but he didn't want to leave.
He's 82 years old. And tell us a little bit about him.
82 years old. He bought this house in 1968, and he put $5 down on the house. That's what he told me.
$5.
He came right back with his paperwork from Lockheed Martin, which is where he retired from in Palmdale. He'd been there for 45 plus
You know
years.
about Lockheed Martin.
And he's been an Altadenian as long as I've been living. My whole life, I came here home as a child. I was born at Kaiser Permanente in Sunset, and they brought me here to this house, and I've been here my whole life.
I want you to listen to that. $5 down, 1962. 2025. 63 years. $5. 60 years later. I want you to think about that. $5 down. Assumingly the house is paid for. Don't know. Don't know if they took out another mortgage, because people do that. Borrow against it. $5 down, 1962, and look where it is, 2025. And he died in there because he did not want to leave. This is what I'm talking about. You have got to surrender. God gives you free will to do as you see fit. But I'm sure many people who come up dead, because we're at 5, they're already projecting more will probably be unalive. because you didn't want to surrender. Because you know they're going to send out the warnings at some point when the fires started brewing and going from place to place. You already know the chances. So you say to yourself, well, that's a couple of miles down the road. I don't think it's going to affect me. Was going to leave, packed up a bag, but didn't want to go. Now he's dead. 82-year-old man. So instead of dying of natural causes, because he's already older, 82, that's a blessing to make it to 82. He dies in a fire when he could have just left. This is what I'm talking about. So we have an 82-year-old man who surrendered. God knows who else, the other 4 people who have been found dead. And God knows other people are going to be found dead in these houses that are burnt up where the people just didn't want to go because they assume it ain't going to be my house today. I don't think when the storm came, people in Florida saying the same crazy stuff. Well, yeah, I went through this years ago, but I didn't think. And some will still say, I'm going to stay. I remember I met a woman recently, her and her daughter in the grocery store, Kroger. They were up here in Tennessee, you know, chilling out from the storm, but going back. That's my home. I love Florida. Okay. Your choice. But damn, how many times you going to be, you know what I mean, recouping? Because at some point, disaster number 1 should be enough for you to say, you know, I don't know about this area. And we get it. Most of America is flat. So you have the propensity for detriment, especially, you know, tornado, tropical places, hurricanes, such as the bottom states, Louisiana, Florida. But damn, 2 times of me recouping, I don't want to do that. And I think if you're an older person, you shouldn't want to do that. Your house gets flooded out 1 time, you rebuild or you move somewhere else, your house gets flooded a 2nd time, and you still want to live in that area. No. So far, this area is probably the safest place in America, right here where I am, East Tennessee. That's why people are moving here. That's why people have left this place to come to where the Queen lives. For one, it was cheaper to live here, which it ain't now. All those Californians have raised our rents. So it's almost like an omen if you think about it. People have been leaving California the past couple of years to come to Tennessee. They came to Nashville. It was a big write-up about it. Californians moving to Nashville, Tennessee. And, a few Tennesseans weren't too happy because I think they already knew what was going to happen. They didn't like people coming here, moaning and complaining about what they didn't like about Tennessee, blah, blah, blah. As they say, well, you can go back where you came from. You don't like it. That's anywhere, right? Then our rent's been jumped up. It's hard to live here now. Poor folks ain't used to paying $1,000 or more for a 1-bedroom. It's just the way it is. And now, look at the fallout. Californians left, and look at their ex-home. Burn it up in flames. It's almost like somebody was talking to these people saying, you better get out, you better get out. Because there's a storm on the way. A firestorm is headed to LA County. Pack your bags and go south. Interesting.
Hey there, guys. We're back here on Alpine Drive, and when we got here, we had service deputies here. We had heard a report that somebody had possibly lost their life on this street. Unfortunately, it's been confirmed. We're going to talk to Kamiko Nickerson. This was your family home. You grew up here, and it was your father. You said you lost him during the fire.
Yes, my dad, Rodney Nickerson, he passed away in his bed.
Tell me what happened. You said you had someone come check on him because you hadn't heard from him.
Yeah, my son had been
Hey,
here.
Mary.
I had actually heard from him all day, and my son had been here with him and all my neighbors, and he was gathering some things, packing up his car a bit, and he said that he was going to gather up his stuff, but he said he was going to stay here too. He said that he felt this was going to pass over and that he would be here, and he did position himself, but he didn't want to leave.
He's 82 years old. And tell us a little bit about him.
82 years old. He bought this house in 1968, and
68.
he put
I'm sorry.
$5 down on the house. Is what he told me. And he came right back with his paperwork from Lockheed Martin, which is where he retired from in Palmdale. He'd been there for 45 plus years. And he's been an Altadenian as long as I've been living. My whole life. I came here home as a child. I was born at Kaiser Permanente in Sunset, and they brought me here to this house, and I've been here my whole life with him.
Do you happen to have a picture of him on your phone? You might be able to pull up fairly quickly.
I don't have.
Oh, your phone's in the car. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. And tell us when when the fire was going on there, so you were trying to call and trying to contact them.
Not yet.
The phone, well, for a while.
Let me look
Like I
outside.
said, I was talking with him, and he was like, "I'll be here, Kim. I'm gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be cool," is what he said. And at about 11 p.m. all the way until the next day at 3,
No
his
snow
phone
yet.
just kept going to voicemail first, and then
cold, though.
voicemail. The house phone, the landline, nor
Let me
his
see
cell
what the
phone.
temperature is.
They weren't doing anything. They weren't allowing voice messages or anything. Just a blank, and then would go to dun, like it was just dead. The phone.
And tell me about. I mean, obviously you grew up here. The memories. How hard was it to come and see this?
It was very hard. He put that pool in the backyard. It wasn't there. It was just all grass, and it's just devastating to see that it's
25
down to the
degrees.
ground. And it was
Winter
even
storm
more
warning.
devastating. I knew he was there, but to
Let's
see
see.
him there was another thing. And he's there. He's still
When
there.
it's gonna start.
And you said your son was here with them.
Yeah, my son Chase was here, and he tried to convince him to leave with him. And Chase gathered his stuff and stayed with him as long as he could. And then the breathing situation
not
became
saying.
pretty bad. They both had their masks
10 a.m.
on. He was like, "Chase, I'll be here.
Thing.
Pop up when you come back."
He was convinced it wasn't going to be that bad.
He was convinced it wasn't. So were we.
What are you guys' next steps? Have you even had time?
The post offices are all closed. The banks are all closed. They have signs on the doors saying because of the Eden Canyon fire that they're closed right now. So any business you try to do, you can't do because everything is closed for now.
No trash
Your
pickup.
dad's name one more time. And your friend, what's your favorite memory? Your best memory?
His name was Rodney Kit Nickerson, and just his humor. Like how he said, everything's going to be
Son of
cool.
a
I'll be here when you
bitch.
come back. Just his confidence and his humor.
That's what he told your son. He was just.
Everything will be cool, and I'll
I
be
think
here
they
when you
picked
guys
up
come back.
Trash just
So
today.
sorry for your loss, but
No
thanks for
trash.
talking to us, and best of luck with
Thank you.
what happens next.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yes, unfortunately, like I said, we did hear yesterday that there were 5 deaths. We don't know if that number's going to grow. If this was one of them, they were talking about. But unfortunately for this family, that's something they're going to have to deal with going forward. Now we're putting live here in Altadena. I'm Chip Yost, KTLA 5 News.
Okay.
And I opened the front door and just yelled in, "Victor, we got to get out. This is it. We have to get out. The fire's here."
Can't see the
And I didn't hear him say anything.
When is it
I
gonna
heard him say
snow?
nothing.
97%.
So I ran to the car.
Jeez,
And
precipitation.
I just got out. Decided to
Gonna be
step in the heat
29 tomorrow.
and see if you can call his name. And maybe he's unconscious. Maybe he's in the corner
9%,
somewhere.
91%.
And he turned around and he looked on the ground and he was there. He was on the ground. I didn't want to look because I just didn't want to see my brother like that. And we discovered he had a water hose in his hand. So we think that he might have tried to put the fire out or tried to make a path to lead to his truck. Or maybe had doused himself.
Oh, that's what Mary had today was chilly. I had a day for yesterday, chilly. All right, let me look at the forecast, everybody. 100% snow Friday, high 32, low 28. Then Saturday, flurries 30%, Then Sunday normal. Flurries again on Monday. Ooh, Lord have mercy. So it's gonna slow down tomorrow. Well, I'm ready. I'm ready, everybody. See, this is why I said, you look at the fire at night and you see how it brews and it stirs. No need in questioning why this building caught on fire, why that one didn't catch on fire. It's nature. It doesn't have to make sense. You've seen it with the tornado. It's the same thing. One building standing, the other buildings are down. It did what it wanted to do. The tornado swirled around. It knocked down 5 buildings and let one stand up. It happens the same with tornadoes. It's the same thing. One's a tornado, one's a fire. Can't make no sense out of it. Can't make no sense out of it. Scary, very scary.
That home completely engulfed. There's fire everywhere. Sam John watched as his neighborhood went up in flames.
This is why they call it an act of God. There's nothing you can do. There's absolutely nothing you can do.
Exactly.
He says he knows his home could be next. How much hope do you have that this all misses your home?
Little to none. If it does, great. If it doesn't, we got out alive. Our neighbors got out alive.
Oh, Bristol.
The family of 66-year-old Victor Shaw said he died in a heroic attempt to defend his home in Altadena.
Oh my God.
Opened the front door and just yelled in, "Victor, we gotta get out. This is it. We have a car." And I just got out. I just got out and I went down the street and there was this car and I flagged him and I said, "My brother's in the house. I need help." And he told me to get out. He said, "Go."
Later, finding his body out front, a garden hose still in his hand.
Sorry about that, everybody. Sorry about
He
that.
might have been thinking how he might have been so frightened, and I couldn't be here. I couldn't be here to save him. I couldn't be here.
This goes back to what I keep talking about. You got to be able to surrender. Why would you want to die outside of your house? Dying inside is one, smelling the smoke, looking out the window, seeing other buildings burning around me, and I won't leave my house. Now I'm outside trying to put out fire with a water hose that has no pressure. Stay woke. Watch the guy do the same thing yesterday, trying to put the fire out the top of the roof of the neighbor's house, because he obviously didn't want his house to catch on fire. Why? That water hose is doing nothing when the bottom rooms are already engulfed. That's why fire is pushing out through the roof. It has to come out. Damn. Let it go. You want to die trying to put out a fire. Now you have this woman telling you, brother found outside with a water hose. Dick Van Dyke, everybody knows him, 99 years of age, he's tumbled up in his water hose outside his house doing the same thing. Old man, old fool. I gotta save it, I guess, Finally, he was rescued. Why are you people doing this? Please, it makes me understand. Your hose cannot put out the fire. Once it's engulfed a fire, it has to have a certain amount of pressure of water to put it out. Why in the world would you want to subject yourself to burning alive? I don't understand this. I get it. You are upset. You want, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hey there, guys. We're back here on Alpine Drive, and when we got here, when there was deputies here, we had heard a report that somebody had possibly lost their life on this street. Unfortunately, it's been confirmed. From Talk to Kamiko Nickerson. This was your family home. You grew up here, and it was your father. You said you lost him during the fire.
Yes, my dad.
Let me see what they're talking about.
Passed.
What Fox is talking about. These people
Wait a
just,
minute.
everybody's, this is some crazy, crazy stuff. I don't get why nobody is understanding what is going on with the fires. Please don't risk your life. Lord have mercy. God, what is wrong with your children? They're so ornery.
And Dronefield Avenue, and the backup is already building, and you see the crews down there trying to put some water on it. That look like civilians.
I wish we could pan. I have to get a second look, but it.
Want them to pan back over.
It looks like, I think that's a firefighter down there. And we see some fighting crews.
Sure.
There. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you never know. We've seen a lot of civilians.
Yes, trying to put out fires. Exactly.
The 188. I'm sorry. The 118. The 118 freeway.
Yeah, like
new brush fire in Tacoma.
Well, watch. I'm looking on watch duty, and watch duty doesn't always get it right. So forgive me. I hadn't heard of the 188, but
there's. So we're looking at right.
So let me tell you. A firefighter, I believe, fell through a second floor building. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he was injured. Out of fire. Oh, on a roof. If I'm not mistaken, on a roof. Why he was on that roof? Lord have mercy. Help me understand. Why are you on top of the roof? Let me pull that up right fast for everybody. So I heard that earlier. This is just getting worse and worse by the minute. Oh, God. Let me put California, because this is... I just don't know what to say. It's 2015. Hold on. I sworn that's what they said. It's not coming up. Firefighter falls through roof, California fires. Let's see. For some reason I can't find it. Now they're talking about homes near Calabasas. The new fire has emerged as firefighters are continuing to battle several other blazes around the region, including 20,000-acre Palisades fire and Eaton fire. Oh, Lord have mercy. This is bad. Kenneth fire grows to 960 acres, threatening homes near Calabasas. And this was uploaded at 7:50. It started around 2:30 p.m. Adjacent to a trailhead near Victory Boulevard. Fanned by strong Santa Ana winds, the fire had consumed 960 acres of brush by 5:30 and was burning south, officials said. It was spreading through open space and threatening homes in the Malibu Canyon area north of the 101 freeway near Calabasas. Firefighters were on the scene and water drops were being made by the air. The challenging terrain and persistent winds complicate suppression activities. Oh my God.
Right now at this firefight.
I'm gonna let that play on. Let's see, hold on a minute. It says, necessitating heightened vigilance from residents and adherence to directives from local authorities. Los Angeles police took a man into custody on suspicion of arson in Woodland Hills, about 5 miles from where the fire started. Wow, according to an LAPD spokesperson. Police said they could not connect the suspect to the Kenneth fire at this time. A caller reported a man attempting to light a fire in the 21700 block of Ybarra Road at 4:22 p.m. Shortly before 6 p.m., Governor Gavin Newsom announced that 900 additional firefighters were being deployed to fight the blaze. He also praised the pace at which helicopters were already working to douse the flames with water. First responders are rapidly responding to the Kenneth fire, transporting water from X, multiple water refills in just a matter of minutes. A mandatory evacuation for areas around Vanawan Street, south to Burbank. Evacuation warnings were canceled for the area between Valley Circle and Woodlake Avenue, and in the Oak Park area near Cayman went out to residents across Los Angeles. Just before 4 p.m., residents from Long Beach to Echo Park and beyond mistakenly received evacuation warning alerting on their phones. A corrected alert was sent around 4:19, and I talked to you all about that earlier in the live, that there was a glitch in the system that sent out this full warning. Disregard last evacuation warning alert said it was for the Kenneth fire only, okay? Now, as of 7 minutes ago, 9,000 homes, more than, structures damaged or destroyed in Palisades, Eaton fires. Christina Lazard, 22-year-old from Van Nuys, was making her way to Victory Trailhead alongside her father, Julio, hoping to capture the scenic view with their new camera. She arrived around 2:50 and began to smell smoke, noticed the flames. We saw the fire barely starting. It wasn't much of a spread, but since it was windy, it started to spread more, Lazard said. The smell was really horrible. She said police officials and firefighters were soon on at the scene, evacuating people from the area. There were still hikers out there. Hold on. 1 second. Before the fire even started, as I heard one of the people say as we were being kicked out, she said there was a lot of smoke spreading. The new fire has emerged as firefighters are continuing to battle several other blazes around the region, including the nearly 20,000 acre Palisades fire and the Eaton fire in Altadena, which has charred around 13,700 acres. So if you need a map of what's going on, oh, thank you so much. Oh, Metal Dust, you're welcome. Thank you. So this is what we have going on right now. There is California. The dot is showing you the mandatory evacuation, and then yellow is the warning for an evacuation. So all the way near the bottom, almost to the bottom of the coast. So far now in Kenneth, 959 acres burned. If you can get a demographic of this map. Okay. Bell Canyon. There was a warning there. Then we move on over Fire Origin. It's under Castle Peak. Then we have West Hills, Chatworth Nature Preserve. This is bad because it's just moving along. It's very scary. So this is where the new fire, I believe, is under Castle Peak, if you need verification. What a scary, scary thought. Okay, everybody. I don't know what to say. 960 acres, threatening homes near Calabasas. That's in Kenneth. And that was hours ago. It started at 2:30, so it's been brewing, coming up 9 hours. You remember, of course, California's 3 hours behind my time. Oh, mercy. I don't know what to say. 9 million people, 9.66 million people live in LA County. Then I talked to you all about the insurance. Most of the homes are insured by some of these residents. Most of these people cannot get homeowners insurance. So for those who think these people got it made in the shade, they don't. they live in these houses because this is where they want to live. This is where they choose to pay a mortgage. But notice some of these people do not have insurance on their houses because no one will insure these people in the Palisades because of the fires, if you did not know that.
His legacy. So he has quite the legacy. And his daughter, such a lovely woman who was so gracious to talk with us, Kimiko. And she was, she wanted to sing the praises of her father. She wanted to point out that he really didn't want to go and believed that everything was going to be okay. Now, remember, he had lived in this area for decades, and he was convinced that it was going to be okay. And this time, it wasn't. But she believes the way his body was found in the burned down house, she believes that it was peaceful. She wants to believe that he, basically took his nighttime meds and settled down for the night, but then just didn't make it out.
It's so sad.
These are the kinds of stories you're hearing over and over.
Yeah. We're now tonight, starting to get the human face on some of this in terms of the loss. And for people that may not know, Nickerson Gardens is a housing project in Watts, the largest housing project in Southern California. We recently profiled it with the Rams doing work there, the Lakers doing work there.
I don't know, Leela.
Kendrick Lamar just did a concert there
over the holidays.
Yeah, just a few weeks ago, SZA was performing there, and that is all the legacy of the Nickerson family.
Susan, I do have a question. Getting back to in the beginning of your reporting, you were mentioning about the curfew. So
all the places.
When we had heard from Sheriff Luna and officials during the 3 o'clock and the 5 o'clock presser tonight,
LA,
he wasn't certain it was going to start tonight as of 6 p.m.
Hollywood Hills.
So is it in
Palisades, Malibu, Pasadena, Sylmar, all those places.
Let me just say, I got that information about the 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew from one of our members of the news team, so I presume that it was true. It does feel like a hard shutdown. When we invited Daisy and her family to come back to the family home. Actually, it was her idea. She wanted to bring her son to see the aftermath of the fire, but she got blocked and put me on the phone with whomever it was that was keeping the family from driving in. So that says a lot, because sometimes it's residents only that can come into the area, right? But they had proof that they lived at this location, and it was only by putting me on the phone with the officer did they say, okay, you can go. And so perhaps that is a sign, yes, that the curfew is enforced. I certainly can tell you that
let me go there. This is why, as I just said, you have to surrender. They want to keep the streets clear of traffic for the obvious reason, because many people waited to the last minute to leave their homes. Maybe they didn't think the fire was going to affect their homes. So the more people on the road, that makes it worse. There were carloads of cars that had to be abandoned because it's common sense. When too many people are on the road, you can't get car flow. You can't get car flow. So these people are lucky to get in to see their house. But see, you have to use common sense. If there are fires brewing, do you really want to be going in the direction of a fire? Help me understand. We're not talking about afterwards. We're not talking when the fires have stopped, not died down, but stopped completely. There's no fire brewing. Why do you want... I don't understand it. I don't understand what the hell's wrong with everybody. That's why I went live. Because each video, somebody's reaffirming people out here don't want to listen. They don't want you going in these areas. They're trying to get people out. Damn, what don't you people understand? They want the people out so they can live. Even if your ass don't want to live. The authorities are trying to preserve your life. So I want to go back and just look. No, you don't want to go back to look. You want to go back to see if your house was there. Correct that. You don't want to just get a look at the damage. You want to make sure your house is still standing. And we get it. You're going to be curious. But if you left, ding, 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 then you left for a reason. You left for a reason. Should there be a curfew? Exactly, yes. Will somebody adhere to it? They're going to try to get through. But they need to have authorities at every point in a road to say, sorry, roadblock, you can't come this way, going back. It's not safe. And it's sad that they have to probably, block off roads so people can not venture in to go look and peep and take photographs and blog, and also try to go back to see if they can get one more thing out the house or loot. This is bad. And I just think it's really sad that these people are adults. These are not children. It's not a 10-year-old wanting to go back to his house. You left your house for a reason. And I assume you wanted to preserve your life. Why can't you just wait? Why can't you wait? And like they said, the smell is putrid. Putrid. I've heard that a few times in different videos I've played, that the smell is horrible. The newscasters are choking while on the live. The smoke is thick, and yet you want to go back to look at your house. Please help the Queen understand what the hell's going on with these people.
It looks way different right now. Of course, it's so dark. I don't know why you would want to be here now.
Thank you.
We're not really seeing
Thank
people
you.
at all, except the workers. We're seeing fire trucks go by.
Thank you.
We're seeing a lot of utility crews.
Lord have mercy.
Whatever
Somebody
they
said
need to
it.
do at
Jesus.
the stage of mopping up from the fire or trying to recover from the fire. You got to get those gas fires out.
Did you hear what she said? It's dark. Why would you want to be here? Exactly. Power lines are down. Power lines are swinging. Do you really want to be walking or driving under a power line? You're not going to see that or pay attention to that in the dark. Lord have mercy. I don't know what is wrong with Americans. Jesus help your children. You know what? I'm really starting to wonder. Maybe God is trying to tell people something. Y'all don't listen. I give you free will and you still won't listen. Even in a disaster, you just refuse to pay attention. I mean, he did it in the Bible, did he not? He told you don't turn around or you would do what? Turn to a pillar of salt. Back. The town was dissipated. So God got you out of there for a reason. But what did he ask you to do? What he gave you, what? Free will. All he asked you to do was don't turn your head back there. Because I got you out for a reason. Come on, Queen, preach. I got you out for a reason. I spared you, and yet you still want to turn around and look at that old place. So the people turn to salt. Have mercy. Same thing here. You want to go take pictures and look and blog. For what reason? See, I think God is talking to everybody, not just the people of California, but those that want to snap, photograph, go live. Let me show you what it looked like in California. You ain't listening. And maybe God's trying to tell us, ain't y'all tired of taking pictures? How many lives you gonna do? You want to end your life to go live for a like and a view? It's the same damn thing. The game is still the same. Look over there. Look over there. This was a guy in a YouTube video. I was looking at it earlier today. I said, look at this food. Look at the power lines. Oh my God, that's gonna blow up. But it didn't dawn on you that you could blow up while going live near power lines. Come on now. As you hear her saying, there's gas lines, I'm worrying about that. Exactly. So while she's standing there going live, poof, voila, anything could explode while she's on the live stream. Just saying.
For sure. It's unsettling to see them at the very least. And you just kind of wonder if the gas is still burning, if the wind starts to blow again,
exactly.
Palm fronds or what have you start, going around as we've seen them, then all it takes is a pass through that flame right there, right? And now you have a bigger fire. So yeah, I'm sure their intention is to try to get that gas line shut down.
Okay, so let's think about that for just a second. Besides just a fire, it's a low fire. But when you're talking about gas, that's a whole nother ballgame. And I think most of you know that. Many homes have detonated to nothing from gas leaks. So did that occur to anybody with all these structures burned down, fire still brewing, gas lines, homes heated with gas? Because you already know that a house, okay, it catches fire, but then it could just poof, explode from the gas lines. God forbid somebody's house already had a gas leak. Just saying. So really, it's dangerous for her to even be sitting there doing this live broadcast. Because for her to know that, that means she probably can smell it. So now we're going to look at her and say, well, then why the hell you standing over there talking about a gas line? Just saying. Make it make sense.
We're told earlier from the emergency officials is that they want to do a curfew. They weren't sure if they legally could do a curfew, so they couldn't legally announce it, but they maybe be doing a de facto curfew. And the point of that is to keep away looters, to make sure that only people that need to be there are in there, and that you don't have extra people going through and trying to target people's homes, and make it easier to enforce that. And some of that may come as the National Guard starts arriving more in force late tonight and tomorrow to help with some of the traffic issues and all the rest of it.
Honestly, Alex, as far as a looter is concerned, what are they going to loot?
Right, that's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. Yes, nothing there.
Dozens of reports and more than a dozen arrests. So people do desperate things.
So let me say that looting would only be for a structure that you could actually get something of value out of. And in my opinion, that would be breaking and entering, because they did it down in New Orleans, of course, stealing TVs and shit. You couldn't take it nowhere. You're a flood victim. Where were you going to take a TV, right? But you see, people do stupid stuff. Okay, like she just said, there's nothing there to take. It's burnt. So it would be really breaking and entering into people's homes, in my opinion. So the looting is carrying a misdemeanor. Also could possibly go to a felony. Well, if you're breaking into somebody's house, it should be a felony. Now, naturally, if the houses are still intact, that means the alarm system and all that will still be working. You should get, some type of notification on your phone, smartwatch. Somebody is, the alarm is set off, then you can call the law and say, hey, somebody's breaking into my house. I see the people. I've got them on camera on my, device, computer, whatever you got with you, laptop. Okay. But as she just said, and I said this earlier, looting what? Ain't no looting in that. These people would be breaking and entering in people's homes. That's totally different. But I guess they consider it looting, taking stuff out. But we don't really consider it that. If somebody's breaking in your house, we don't call it looting. We just call it robbery. Last I checked.
In desperate times.
Well, one thing that was interesting that I learned from Tom Vakar earlier on our air was that the aluminum on the tires that burn is a valuable resource. And some people come into this and literally take the burnt aluminum from the tires and use that. And then we also know, Susan, which I'm sure you've seen, although I'm sure this street is mostly gone, there are a few homes that are still there that the people aren't able to be in, right? And so nobody's there to protect them. And so then these looters think it's open season because nobody's going to be there to stop them, to go in and try to steal the jewelry or the money or all the rest of it. And if you're not allowed to go back to your house, you can't protect your house.
Right.
Right. Well, I'm going to let you go because, unfortunately, I've got Fox News Channel. I got a bigger name on the phone.
Okay. All right. So you can Susan on Trace Scout. They called me, actually, and wanted you because they were so impressed with your live shot earlier. So you can check Susan out.
All right. Definition of loot. Steal goods from a place, typically during a war or riot. Desperate residents looted shops for food and water. Similar names, synonyms: plunder, pillage, ransack, sack, raid, rifle, rob. Once again, to take considerable values taken in war, spoils. Looting is the act of stealing or taking of goods by force, typically in the midst of a military, political, or other social crisis, such as war or natural disasters, where law and civil enforcement are temporarily ineffective, or rioting. The proceeds of all these activities can be described as booty, loot, plunder, spoils, or pillage. Well, okay. So, taking of goods during a natural disasters. So, I didn't know that's what they considered looting. Because most of the times when I saw people looting, it was places that had, you know what I'm saying, valuables in the house that possibly hadn't been tarnished. But it means to steal. That's what it says. So I learned something new today. It says it's the act of stealing, which I knew looting was stealing, of course, but I just assumed, in a place where it was goods to be of use. But it says taking of goods by force, typically in the midst of military, political, social crisis, war, natural disasters, or rioting. Wow, wow, wow. So, breaking and entering, I guess, in someone's house is still looting. Damn. Wow, wow, wow.
Out on Trace Gallagher's show, Fox News at Night. All right, Susan, thank you so much.
All right, let's go to the Palisades fire. There's Ed Lascos, and you were right outside the village there.
Yeah, Marla, very quiet. A very good point about the looters. LAPD telling me a little while ago that the target of these looters, and people walking around here who are not supposed to be here, are the homes that are not damaged.
Right.
And along
Okay.
the condo buildings
Of course.
along Sunset, they're open. The doors, the gates to the parking garages underneath are open, left open intentionally for firefighters to get in if they had to. So with the gates open, the concern is the looters.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Hit the stairwell,
That's
go into
dangerous.
the upper floors and start kicking in doors.
Right.
So that's why
Oh my God.
Sheriff,
God, I hope not.
I just saw a couple of California Highway Patrol black and whites moving to here with their spotlights. They're checking the buildings, particularly though, they're targeting the ones that are not damaged, whether they're homes, but in this area along Sunset, a little further west here on Sunset over by past Temescal Canyon and Pali High School. That's where they have a lot of the condos, apartment buildings, not damaged, wide open. The main lobbies and the parking garages open, and that's the target seemingly of the looters, and that's why law enforcement is on it big time. As for the curfew.
Oh my goodness, can you imagine apartment buildings that have secure doors, gates to the parking garage now being accessible for random blokes to run in there, hide behind cars, vandalize the cars in the parking lot. This is also a grand time to steal a car parked in a nice apartment building parking garage, because now you just walk your ass on in there and steal somebody's car. Come on out of that. Or like you said, take the stairwells, lie in wait, stand behind a corner, somebody's going in or coming out, ordering food, DoorDash. This is bad. Didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about, gates being unlocked. It's almost like the movie Purge. You got so many hours, you can do whatever you want. No law enforcement can do anything to you, can't touch you. And that's the ideology of a crazy, mad person. Well, they can't be over here and over there at the same time. I could be over here kicking in the door, selling these wealthy people things. Who's going to come? I'll risk it. This is scary. Because it's nightfall now. And this is when the devil does his work. Because he's heinous all the time. But he likes to use people in the night hour, wee hour, to do mischievous deeds. And that's what most crooks, the time they're going to be looking for. When it's quiet, when it's still. But hopefully, police, sheriff, state troopers will see you riding and pull your ass over and ask you, where you going? So this is the time profiling won't matter. Where you going, sir, ma'am? Oh, I just want to take a drive. I wanted some ice cream. I couldn't sleep. Okay. And you know they get ready to run your name, your tag. So you got any type of nefariousness attached to your government name, they gonna probably tell you, you please step out of your car, please. Well, what I do, officer? Just step out of your car, please. Check your car. See if you got any goods in that trunk, back hatch. Best you stay inside, everybody. Mind your business. Stay at your address. No need to get in the charge for nothing. Okay? And I pray nobody's out trying to steal these people goods out of their homes, breaking in people's homes. But like I said, most people who have homes, I'm sure, in LA County, they had to evacuate. I'm sure they have alarms on their houses. So I would assume the alarms are going to pop off if there's any creepy crawlies trying to break in their houses. And I'm sure, as they said, they've got the police and authority working, putting the spotlight on anybody moving by foot or by car, watching the streets. But we know the police can't be everywhere. And you have some people that's probably going to try their best to go in places that are fire-ridden, but I'm sure those roads are probably blocked. They've got those roads blocked so nobody comes back in anyway because of the fires. But there's always a fool that will try to bypass law enforcement. Or maybe another way in, I don't know.
Curfew situation. Mike, you'll give you a look. I don't have anything official like Susan as to whether the curfew actually is in effect tonight, but I got to tell you, it sure feels like it is. It is eerily quiet here. Look at this. The center of the Palisades Village here, the cross is Swarthmore, and you saw what was left of the Starbucks restaurant here that was always a big draw, and then across the street, the bank's been moving through here with their lights flashing, spotlights on, looking around, making sure there's no looting, some cars coming down. This is something else we're seeing here also tonight. Lots of utility vehicles moving through here, a lot of power utilities from LADWP to some other private companies bringing in equipment, cables, transformers, so they're slowly starting in some areas to get the grid back, and that's going to be a huge job. Also saw some of the from SoCal Edison, actually, I'm sorry, from the gas company. They were here a little while ago, about a half hour ago, with their spotlights looking through. It's probably surveying, thinking how they're going to get
19.4 miles
they're going to do.
from Los Angeles.
Not much fire activity here on the other
to
side of
the Palisades, where we have all the fires. Calabasas is in danger as well. 32-minute delay by traffic, heavy traffic.
Somebody driving by there, I have no idea who these people are. We've been talking. This is interesting. We haven't
seen traffic, 20.3 miles travel.
We haven't seen
LA.
As it got dark, there were a lot of folks wandering around with their backpacks. They had their cell phones up.
Palisades.
Cameras out there, miniature cameras.
19.4 miles.
Like a documentary of all sorts.
29.3. Sorry about that.
They suddenly disappeared. So it makes you think that maybe there is some type of a curfew through here. Or
with the
just
traffic.
Enforcement saying, no,
now Palisades is in danger as well. Lord have mercy.
And of course, the fire
what is going on?
Up and down Sunset, and especially all these side streets here. Mikey's showing you Sunset here, but Swarthmore, as you look down this way, this is the village park here, the village green as they call it.
Let me see what Sunset
Nothing here.
Boulevard.
People shop right on the other side of the park here, and there's nothing here. No light, all dark. And I was thinking it's what, a little after 8, quarter 20 after 8. This would be jumping on a Thursday night. People over here. There's a yogurt shop. There used to be. They'd be over here with their coffee, their yogurts, the restaurants, and there is absolutely nothing here but some more of the heavy equipment coming in. This looks like a tractor trailer, and there's some more of the fire department. Interesting, one other point before I let you go with the fire department moving through here. They are even using their spotlights, hitting the buildings. And I said, what are you doing? They said, well, hotspots, but in this area, it's really not much of a concern anymore. We're also looking for looters as well. Anybody who's suspicious, doesn't belong. If we see something, we call our friends from the county sheriffs or LAPD, and they move in quickly. And quickly they have. We saw them a couple of hours ago, black and white. There was two fellas with their backpacks riding an electric motorcycle, and they were pulled over by a couple of LAPD black and whites, and they were asking for IDs because they just looked like they didn't belong. You could easily tell that. Mikey, you want to show this? You pointed this out. This is a little area here in the green where you have a lot of folks. They bring books, leave books, and people kind of have their own little library going. And with all the destruction here, look at these books somehow survived. They're not even burned. They're not even singed. So it kind of shows you how strange these fires are. It reminds me of, sadly, when we covered tornadoes. You know, the Native Americans would call them the fingers of God because they would reach down indiscriminately and just wreak havoc. One block, another block. And it's kind of what we see with this fire in some of these areas. Some areas undamaged and others wiped off the map. Anyway, that's the situation here from the heart of the Pacific Palisades. Back to the west side we go.
Before we let you go, Ed, since you're on the fire, I want to report some good news, some progress in the Palisades fire. CAL FIRE is reporting 6% containment. I know that's just a little bit, but that is the first time we've had any containment since the fire broke out 10:30 a.m. Tuesday. So that's good news.
Well, that's spectacular news, and maybe because the winds really have died down. That's a big part of it. Earlier today, about 3 o'clock or so when we got here, there was a slight breeze. But then as sunset hit, it is perfectly calm here. Bit chilly, but no breeze at all, something we haven't felt since we started here when this fire broke out. So that is huge news. Did you hear the other thing that was confirmed by the LA County Sheriff's Department and LA County Fire Chief about a super scooper?
Oh, Scott made me so funny. Ain't that the truth? Hopefully she's somewhere sitting her ass down watching Roku.
The plane had to come down, not seriously damaged. So now the FBI is moving in, FAA, and they're telling anybody, if you put a drone up in this area, you're going to jail.
Well, Ed, we were literally just about to do that story next, but since you started it, here's the video of it right now. And we're looking right now at the wing of its, this plane was grounded because of this. The aircraft was able to land safely. No crew members were injured. The county fire chief, Anthony Maroney, telling the LA Times that the aircraft, Super Scooper, the drone strike put a hold on the plane's wing, a hole in the wing. So right now, they can't fly that. Maroney telling the LA Times that the FBI will be responding to the area with aerial armor designed to prevent drones from flying in the fire zone. According to the FAA, individuals who interfere with firefighting efforts are committing a federal crime, which is punishable by up to 12 months in prison. The agency can also impose a civil penalty of $75,000 against anyone who is using a drone who isn't supposed to.
Oh, wow.
Who interferes with wildlife suppression, law enforcement, or emergency response. Restrictions, known as TFRs, are now in place. Total flight restriction.
All right, so we got drone restriction. These are the areas, California fires, everybody. LA, Hollywood Hills, Palisades, Malibu, Pasadena, Sylmar. You already heard about Eden. Now Calabasas. Worried about Calabasas. I want to give you a little information. You know, some of us aren't familiar with LA. Sunset Boulevard is a boulevard in the central and part of Los Angeles, California, that stretches from Pacific Coast Highway in Pacific Palisades east to Figueroa Street in downtown Los Angeles. It is a major thoroughfare in the cities of Beverly Hills and West Hollywood, including as the Sunset Strip. Wow. As well as several districts. So see, I learned something new. So obviously it's in different parts, I guess, because it's got central and western part of LA, stretches from the Pacific Coast Highway, Pacific Palisades, to downtown LA. Damn, that's long. Also in Bel Air, Sunset Boulevard runs along the northern boundary of UCLA's Westwood campus. The boulevard continues through Brentwood to Pacific Palisades. Wow, wow, wow. The things you learn. Damn, damn, damn. Where is the Sunset Strip located? It is a major thoroughfare in the cities of Beverly Hills and West Hollywood, including a portion known as the Sunset Strip, as well as several districts in LA. So obviously these streets are like some place, it's just a long, long street. It just runs damn near forever. Well, since I've never been, so I didn't know. Lord have mercy. Let's see what I got. Map of Sunset Boulevard. Jesus wept. small. So you've got it, Beverly Hills, just different. LA is huge. I've always heard that. Then you got the mountains. This is just a lot to digest. Yeah, it's getting real. That it is. So I always try to bring you a little information to show you things, because I don't know anything about LA. So this is a good map here. Santa Monica, all the major places. Culver City, Mar Vista, Holmby Hills, Sunset Boulevard. Is that Sunset Boulevard the red? Let me see. Yeah, Sunset Strip, West Hollywood. Then we go to Hollywood. It just goes on and on. Lord have mercy. Then Los Angeles. Lord, nothing like Google, I tell you. This is scary. This is very scary. Sunset Strip, West Hollywood. I don't know what's going to happen, but now we're talking about damn drones.
They stated that it treats such violations
What's next?
seriously and considers swift enforcement action for such offenses. But you think about that, Marla. Now, literally, this plane is grounded.
Thank you, Sky.
Because of some idiot who was flying a drone.
Yeah, and in the Super Scoopers, these are the ones that carry 1,600 gallons of water. These are the ones that we want at our disposal. So, yes, that is so frustrating and so unnecessary. And Chief Maroney said,
just going from one thing to the next. Looters.
Who was flying the drone, but said the drone was destroyed.
Somebody want coffee.
And now
looters.
The Super Scooper, not destroyed, but
they're just all over the place.
With a hole right there.
The hell?
In the wings.
What's
so we're
next?
Sorry to hear that, but yes. Ed, you obviously heard about this when you were reporting in the field, and you've been out there day in and day out. Have you seen any drones?
No, I haven't seen any drones at all, but I was also reminded about what the chief was talking about, that the drone obviously damages the plane, but you know how these things work. If the plane is coming down to make a drop at its lower altitude, that drone easily can get sucked into an engine, shut like a bird strike, if you will, and then you know what happens. Mike, you'll give you a look, some more fire apparatus moving through here, through the Palisades, some LA County fire engines. They are going, I think, up to that area a few blocks over where that building, the brick chimneys of that building are threatening to come collapsing down. That's the big area that they're working on. But yes, the chief was pointing out there's a lot of danger with those drones. I haven't seen any, thank goodness, but the FAA is involved, the feds are involved, and with very, very little patience for this. They're saying, no, we can't have that. So more, I was going to say security coming in behind us. We've been seeing convoys all night long coming in. This looks, I'm thinking maybe like more LAPD moving in with their units. Again, that's the big key here tonight has been just watching out for looters, and looks like some more media pulling.
Daytime.
So that's what you see here, media all over the place. Well, they claim to be media, and that was one of the
nighttime
was telling me that. Everybody claims to be media, and if you have one of those usual live
Costa
trucks,
Beach, Malibu, California.
They say everybody else comes in with their little SUV, and they say, so it's hard for us to tell exactly who is legitimately media or not. So that's another problem.
Lord have mercy.
Folks on the front lines here have to deal with. That looks like one of the fire investigators moving.
Satellite
through.
images.
So, yeah, they cut through the darkness. The drones, for that situation, certainly a problem, and the feds will be keeping an eye on that, certainly.
Yeah, and maybe we can go back to that video of the plane, and we can point something out. A lot of people may have noticed on the wing it says Quebec, and that's because these planes are in fact on loan from Canada. There is a contract where we here in California contract them out from Canada for our quote-unquote fire season, although the fire season now is pretty much year-round. And so certain part of the year, they're flying these things in Canada. And that's why you see Quebec written on it, but you also see the logo for our local agencies as well. All right, Ed Lascos, thank you for your continued reporting into.
All right, I'll let that roll while I bring you a little update. Let's see. We got 5 people deceased coming from the LA County Sheriff. We expect the number to rise. Series of devastating fires still growing, uncontained across Southern California amid dry, windy conditions, leaving officials scrambling to contain the historic destruction. Thousands of firefighters are battling at least 5 sprawling wildfires spread around LA area. The largest Palisades fire in the Pacific Palisades has scorched over 19,000 acres, destroyed thousands of structures and remains. More than 13,000 acres and 0% contained. More than 180,000 people have been ordered to evacuate as the inferno spread. President Joe Biden on Wednesday approved a federal major disaster declaration for Los Angeles County. Firefighters in Ventura County have stopped the forward progress of a rapidly burning wildfire that originally broke out Thursday afternoon in the West Hills area of Los Angeles. The blaze is holding at 960 acres, according to the Ventura County Fire Department. All evacuation orders for LA County have been reduced to warnings, and evacuation warnings in Ventura County have been lifted, the fire department said. Okay? So, Ventura County, they've been lifted, the warnings. About 400 firefighters will remain at the scene of the fire overnight to work on knocking down hotspots. There have been no reports of any structures damaged or destroyed from the Kenneth fire. The fire is still described as zero contained. And once again, as of 9:51, 5 people are deceased. 3 of the victims passed away in the Eaton fire, 2 in the Palisades. Okay? Oh my goodness. So those areas I showed you side by side were of the areas that had the most fire: Pacific Palisades and Malibu. And those are these pictures here. Satellite imagery. That's why I told you to get the nighttime view. It's even more horrific. Overview of Palisades. Let's see. Hold on. In a satellite image by Maxar Technologies. Looks weird, don't it? Almost looks like it's water. But that's not. That's from satellite. That's way up. Show you how much is going on. (1,000 acres with zero containment. That's why I said nighttime view is more dramatic looking than daytime view. This is in Kenneth. Lord have mercy. Kenneth is in West Hills, 1,000 acres, igniting Thursday afternoon. They're expecting it to grow rapidly due to high winds, LA Mayor Karen Bass said at the evening news conference. This is a reminder that this is a very dynamic situation that can change quickly. This is during the day earlier. Canyons, that's all this place is made of. Some would say, why would you want to live up in this place? A lot of people don't think about that when they want to buy a house, live in canyons and mountains. You have to think of a worst case scenario such as what is happening. High winds, gusts, dry weather makes for a fire. California has had some very devastating fires over the years, mudslides in Northern California, and I think the last fire was 2019, I think. Some real fires that I was Googling earlier. So this is daytime imagery. And this is what's so weird. When you look at this, you can't really see anything, but when they zoom in on photography, there's people living in these places. It's hard to understand it. It said, please act swiftly, move quickly, evacuate now. LA County Supervisor Lindsay Horvath said this was earlier. Oh, wow. It says, if you're told to evacuate, get the hell out, Senator Adam Schiff says. Wow. You might think you can outrun a fire. You are not going to outrun these fires. You're just not the way they are moving. The unpredictability of how they're moving the swiftness with how they're moving. You're not going to outrun these fires, the Democratic senator said. Adding to the stern warning, Schiff said, if you stay, you're going to die in them. He said, and it's not worth it. So if you're told to evacuate, get the hell out. Save yourselves. You can rebuild because we are going to rebuild. Once again, 2 dead from the Palisades fire. 20 acres so far. That's at 9:50 p.m. 7:59 p.m. Palisades firefighting aircraft hits drone. The Federal Aviation Administration said it's investigating after fire officials reported that a firefighting aircraft struck a drone while operating over the Palisades fire on Thursday. That's probably what they were showing a little bit earlier. Said it's a federal crime punishable up to 12 months in prison to interfere with firefighting efforts on public lands, the FAA said in a statement. See, this goes back to what I've been saying. You all just won't leave well enough alone. You just can't stay away from drama. That's why I made this video tonight, because somebody needs to hear it. It is time for you all to stop meddling in shit. They're telling you now, you flying that drone, your ass gonna go to jail. Because you are interfering with official business. So you flying the drone over the fires is no different than, hey, the looters, stupid people want to ride through, take pictures to make a video, TikToks, all saying, stop. Just stop. Some things just ain't worth filming. They're telling people to get out of their houses. They're sending evacuation notices. So what is it that you all are confused about? They're trying to preserve your life, and yet you want to stay in the house. You want to send a drone up to be nosy. You want to ride it by and look for coffee at Starbucks when you see there's nobody on the street. The buildings are burning. You're looking for fucking Starbucks. Why? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It's like you all don't care. You're an outsider looking in. You have no regard for life. And then the people who are in the midst of the fire, you don't care about yourself. I don't know what's wrong with this country. Some of you all are crazy as hell. You heard this senator say, get out. You can rebuild. He's right. You can go live somewhere else, find somewhere else to live. California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, wherever. Life is too short as it is. Why are you trying to hold on to something that could encompass you and burn you alive? Why you all want to go watch and film and break into people's houses and steal their good stuff out their house? Just stop it. We're in dire times. I ain't never seen nothing like it.
It's just a lead comment in my video. It's like an overwhelming response I got on that video. So check that out, Weather Adam on social media. If you need help, you can scroll those comments and maybe find some of that help you're looking for in your specific neighborhood.
Yeah, maybe later tonight, because we're going to be here for a while. If there's any of them that you want to highlight, maybe we could spend some time doing that as well.
So I'll say quickly, my plan was to get those comments and then like share that out through Instagram stories or something like that. And it's so many that I don't even know like how to, I don't know how to handle it. I'm just saying, go people look through these comments. But I'll look a little closer, and yeah, we'll try to get some shout outs here on air.
Okay, all right, Adam. But of course, the main focus is forecasting the weather.
Yep. Exactly.
That we're keeping an eye on.
Please let him do his job.
Our company, Fox, is
please let him do his job.
To our owner,
we want him to do his job.
Tonight, helping to lead this response. We're working with the American Red Cross, and we hope that you will
donate your money there. Don't donate your money to anybody else
right now.
You don't know.
Use your phone. That'll take you right to the link to be able to donate, or you can go to go.fox/Red Cross. And the best thing you can do, really, the best thing you can do is donate money. No matter how small that is, a donation is appreciated. Sometimes people want to give things that are needed, and then it becomes a bigger problem because the stuff piles up and gets in the way.
Yeah.
So the best thing you can do is, frankly, to stay at home /Red Cross, and thanks to everybody that donates.
I'm glad you brought that up because we heard from the Pasadena spokesperson that was in fact the case. We know that the Pasadena Convention Center is serving as an evacuation center, and people were literally driving up and dropping off old couches, and they don't have it.
There's no place to put a couch.
Yeah, that makes no sense. That makes no sense.
We're not necessarily asking for furniture.
Nobody wants your old couch.
Gesture. So to your point, giving monetarily would be the best way to do it. And Adam, you directed me to your social media, and you are right. You have thousands of comments from people telling us, about their restaurant that is feeding the first responders. It is an amazing response. So kudos to you for doing that, and hopefully we can get that on the air tonight. Let's go to Tom Bakar. He is there in the Palisades
Yes,
fire.
thanks for our firefighters,
the
police, sheriff, state troopers,
that could fall at
Army,
any time.
whoever's involved. Thank you for your service.
Flashing lights behind you.
Let me say that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of traffic coming through here right now. Some of it's being diverted, but some of it is maybe going to enter this area. A few vehicles have, but none of them are pulling in front of this building, and it has been illuminated. We can't see right now because of this fire truck, but it's a situation where it was subjected to a lot of heat. It was subjected to a lot of fire suppression, and as a result, it may have some compromise. You can see it now there, that white building that they have lights on, and because they have the lights on it, they're just taking a look at it to see what's going on. I was told by a person that they're not letting anybody in front of that building, and the reason for that, very straightforward, is they just don't want this building to come down. And there is the situation. So this is creating a bit of a scene here, but obviously the road is closed, but these are all these emergency vehicles that are now having to divert.
Yeah, update me on that.
They simply cannot go down the Sunset Boulevard.
Okay, so the precarious situation remains. We'll keep a watch. Tom Baker from our sister station KTVU. Thank you very much.
Oh, what's going on there?
Oh, you know what, Tom? I'm so sorry. We can go back to you. That's me. That's my fault. Tom, we were just showing the video of the Super Scooper that got hit by a drone today, and now that's out of the scenario of fighting the fire. It can't. We're looking at that video right now. What are you hearing about this incident?
Stupid.
There are two of them, and they were provided by the Canadians, Quebec. And it's a really unique airplane. It's a flying boat, but when this flying boat lands to be a boat, in about 12 seconds, it can unload about 1,600 gallons of water and mix it with retardant. But 1,600 gallons is, that's times 7 pounds. That's how many pounds it is. So that's, roughly 6 tons of water that it can pick up in 12 seconds, get back in the air. And so if it's going out to the ocean and picking up water for something near the ocean, it can make many, many runs. So it's a very important thing. But again, it's an aircraft. An aircraft doesn't like getting hit by things. And in a situation where you get hit by a drone, a little drone probably would be meaningless. But there's some fairly large drones out there, and depending on what it hits, it could do anything from cause a hole in the body, but it could also interfere with the props, bend a prop or something like that, and then throw the thing out of kilter.
Lord have mercy.
Wouldn't cause it to crash, but what it would do is put it out of service. And the last thing we need right now is any
very dumb
fire equipment that can fight
people are just selfish.
Out of service,
they want to be important.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, and you make a good point. I mean, a lot of times you think of a drone, and you think of the small little things.
I got to see what's going on.
As we know,
they sent a drone up.
Large, so that's likely the case here, and we're
messing with official business.
Go ahead.
Yeah, one other thing I want to mention is understand that you guys had just broadcast that the containment is now 6%, which is progress. But I've talked to a lot of experts over the years that are in the firefighting business, and they say when you really feel like you're getting a handle on this thing, where you feel like you're kind of the master of it, or you can be the master of it, providing that more trouble doesn't come in the form of high winds or something else, you get to about 35%. Now, I thought it would have been over 50% when I first started to consider this, but once you get to about 35%, that allows the firefighters to move crews from one location where they don't have to worry so much to locations where they do, and that can speed up the whole thing. So when you start getting to 35%, you can start thinking, well, they've really got a pretty good handle on this. But at 6%, that can go the other direction very, very quickly. So it's good news, but with the Santa Ana winds, it may not be good enough news.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, I got a little overly excited on the 6%, Tom. I'll give you. It's nice to see that number finally go beyond zero.
Yeah, 0 to 6%. That ain't nothing.
Yeah, any containment is good because that just doesn't require that much attention anymore. But it's 35% where they feel like, you know, if everything else is equal, and with the Santa Ana winds, everything else is not equal, then you have a situation where it could go the other direction. But at 35%, I've rarely seen them come back from 35%. So I think that's a pretty reasonable figure. But you know, you got to start somewhere. And
when are these fires going to
and that's interesting.
go down?
About that threshold of 35%.
We're a couple of days in now.
Tom, you're an amazing reporter. We thank you so much for being with us. Yes, you are well of knowledge.
Let's see what time it is here.
Continue to look live.
12:10 Eastern Standard Time. 9:10 in California.
Hopefully we'll get to that 35%.
How long is this going to go on?
Soon enough, but right now we are at 6%.
Mercy.
But thankfully,
just scary.
Right now,
the nighttime view to me is scarier.
Aggressively towards homes.
It just really shows you
one of the big
bad it is. Oh
arson,
my God.
That we've been talking about, and there are reports that the fire that we saw burning tonight in West Hills and Calabasas was started by a potential arsonist.
Oh my God.
Our colleague,
horrible. Why would you do that?
Is there.
Start a fire with fires.
About what he's seeing on the ground and what we've learned in terms of a potential crime scene now.
It's hell.
Zach Sauce, are you there? Can you hear us?
Okay, good. I'm waiting.
No, we hear him. Zach, are you there?
So Yep.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm at the corner of Arcos and
so now we're talking about arson.
Of Woodland Hills. It is here that we understand a bizarre set of circumstances occurred around 4:30. It is our understanding that police have made an arrest of a suspected arsonist here in the community of Woodland Hills. A source in the police department telling us that this suspect may be tied to the potentially the Kenneth fire. So around 4:30, we are told by several neighbors here that there was a man riding around on his bicycle with a large blowtorch, apparently attempting to set numerous old Christmas fire garbage cans with wood debris on fire. He was riding around, and some neighbors that were just being very alert about this, certainly concerned seeing all of the fires in the community. You know, they knew that something was not right here.
Don't hide him. I want to see what he looks like.
Right away, neighbors started to follow him. He eventually made his way up here to this intersection, and that is where a number of neighbors stepped in. Take a listen.
I had been sent a video by my daughter-in-law who lives on the first floor that arrest was being made with a guy driving on a bicycle with a blowtorch. I didn't see this, but somebody across the street tracked down this guy through the neighborhood. He was riding around and either tackled him, and my daughter-in-law called the police, or somebody called the police, called 911.
Dangerous. Could have had a gun or a knife, anything.
How did your friend intervene?
Apparently, he saw him walking, and a couple of his neighbors did as well.
They called the cops right away. Suspicious looking guy. They all came out of their house. They told him to stay right there, held him down, stuff like that.
They detained him.
Yeah, they detained him. That's what I heard. So you guys, I understand you zip tied him? Is that?
Wow, zip tie. Who has zip
I
ties?
understand he seemed sort of agitated. Can you describe?
I don't have zip ties here.
Seemed like maybe he was on something or something. He was very like, I can't stop. I'm not putting this down. I'm doing this. And very focused on moving forward.
Should have whooped his butt.
Like, we can't be doing that right now.
Should have whooped his butt.
Yeah, just a remarkable set of events.
Great.
Neighbors.
Fires plus an arsonist.
Seeing something that was obviously suspicious, deciding to step in. They say that this man was acting incredibly erratic when they detained him. You saw that video that was shot from above here. That first person you heard from there, that was his. That video was shot from above from that home. The neighbors had some zip ties. They were again able to detain him. They said that this man
I don't have any, Scott.
Potentially being on some form of a drug. They say that they then.
I don't have any need for zip ties.
Arriving,
I don't know what I'm
they
using
say
for.
fairly soon after, a large police presence. One neighbor telling me it was the largest police presence he has seen in this community, which is generally a very quiet community, and they took him away. Again, we don't know if any charges have been filed right now.
Oh, they're going to file him, believe that.
We do believe he's being held potentially on attempted arson.
He is done. He's cooked.
Zach, thank you for all that information and that new video, courtesy of Citizen.
He's a cook bird.
You are currently in Woodland Hills, is that right?
Next, we're going to hear he's schizophrenic.
Just at the corner of, go ahead.
My question is because there was a little bit of confusion where it hadn't hit the residents yet who have been evacuated. Are people out of their homes?
Oh my God, Mary, you in this glass, please stop.
The progress was.
You must want to stay in the hospital.
Here in terms of the firefight, so that the evacuation order was downgraded to a warning. So I'm just curious of sort of the state of the neighborhood right now. Are people out of their homes? Are they in homes?
And this community has not been evacuated. Most people are in their homes. Some have chosen to leave out of an abundance of caution, but most people just closely monitoring the fire, which is just incredibly close. And again, that is why when they saw, I assume that anyone who saw something like this, given the circumstances, would probably call police, but they were already very much on edge when they saw this person riding around, and that is why they decided to step in.
Do they know how he started the fire?
Well, again, to be clear, it is only through a source that this person is potentially being tied to the Kenneth fire. What they saw was this man with the blowtorch going up and down the block, attempting to light an old Christmas tree on fire and garbage cans filled with tree debris, essentially. The other thing that they mentioned was that he then remarked when they approached him, "You need to get out of here. There's a large fire nearby."
Okay, so because we don't know for sure that is the man connected to the Kenneth fire, that's why I guess we've made the decision to blur his face. That until that name has been announced and we have more specifics of that, we thought it would be unfair to show his face.
What you want me for? I didn't make it up.
Jeez. Riding on a bicycle with a blowtorch? Are you serious?
He crazy. Shit.
He finna get his ass whooped.
He go jail. You want to go to jail? We gonna take you there. Damn, you want to eat peanut butter jelly sandwiches? That way you going.
No bread.
Where you go? I'm going to jail. I was setting fires. I'm going to jail. Just crazy. Bet you he's crazy. They say he's acting erratic, probably on drugs. Either mentally ill, on drugs, both. Oh, Lord, we can't win.
Listen, how many years, decades, whatever, centuries have we had alcoholics, drug addicts, crazy folks? It's beyond, this is not even an excuse anymore.
Well, But it's going to be excused because they're going to go dig up his background and we're going to find out he's mentally ill. He's on meds. He don't take them. He stays in trouble. He sets garbage cans on fire. He's homeless. You're going to hear all that, and they'll just put him in the insane asylum. And there you have it. Damn. Hello, everybody. Mary's joined us from the chat. Oh, Lord. And what is you doing carrying glass? Ain't you tired of carrying glass?
I'm tired of cutting, carrying.
Damn. Honey, Christmas over. What are you still doing?
I'm in here trying to get all this stuff.
It's almost, look, it's almost Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I almost said St. Patrick's
Lord,
Day.
Yeah. Bring it on.
I was going to say it's almost St. Patrick's Day. I forgot. We got to go to Valentine's Day first. Oh, Lord. So what do you think about the fires and new information that I read? I don't know how far in the live you were, but I don't have no words. I don't have no words for the people's behavior. The fire, you don't have no control over that, as that one black guy said. It's nature doing its thing, God doing his thing. But your behavior, wanting coffee, and you see there's nobody on the street. I had to play that video for the audience so people can hear that. Please go back to the beginning of the live stream to get that information. Nobody's going up and down the street with fire trucks, and you said, "Oh, I'm out of the area. I'm not from here. I was looking for Starbucks. It's burnt to the ground." The fuck?
Look, number one, I'd do about anything for my coffee. Number two, if you're not from
Mary,
the area, why are you still here?
Like I said, the news lady showed the street. The news lady.
Go back to where the hell ever. They got plenty of coffee.
The news lady panned the street. You could see nobody, not a frog, a rat, nothing. But only you, a coffee addict, is looking for a Starbucks that is no longer there.
Ain't nobody standing around boiling water. Okay? Well, actually, they probably are boiling all the water.
It don't make no sense.
I'm just saying, if you're from out of town, that's crazy enough.
They didn't say out of town. They just said out of the area. For all I know, she's somewhere where the fire was, and she was just riding, trying to find some coffee. But my thing is this. You have a phone. You have Google. They have alerts. All you have to do is sit somewhere, park your car in a safe area, and do your Googling. You don't ride around. You don't ride around.
Well, and you damn sure don't ride around on a bicycle with a blowtorch. How about that?
Well, they're all done. She's done. Matter of fact, she can go pick up the motherfucker with the blowtorch. They can ride around together.
That's what I'm saying. Ask him. He got a cup of coffee.
Then the people trying to put out the fires with the water hoses. That don't make no sense. You don't have enough pressure to put the fire out. So you're willing to burn up. Guy found dead in the yard with his hose. Why? They're telling you to leave. You still don't want to leave. Guy found dead with his water hose. Well, Dick Van Dyke, he did it too.
Oh, God.
Black girl on here saying she lost her daddy. He done died in the bed, 82 years of age. He didn't want to leave, but yet he packed his stuff. So you decided to stay. Well, then what was the purpose of packing your stuff? Been there since 1968. Huh?
I didn't hear that he packed his stuff. I figured he just...
Well, he packed up some stuff, Mary. I don't know how much he packed. Just that he packed up some stuff, but he stayed anyway.
Weird. Look. You want me to make sense of any of this? I ain't.
No, because you can't make no sense out of it. Because I keep hearing the same behavior. They act the same in Florida months ago. North Carolina.
Hurricane.
That's something I meant to say in the chat. Why are you camping outside of your house that flooded and it's cold? How long are you going to stay camped out?
North Carolina's
Listen,
a little bit different.
but no, there's no difference. I'm not going to sit outside. Listen, Mary. No, I'm not going to sit outside my house that no longer exists. For what? That's no different than sitting outside a burnt house. What's the difference? Make it make sense now. Your house is flooded. It's gone.
No, I don't know.
Okay, your house is flooded. It's now cold. What is the point in staying outside the house? You don't have the money to rebuild the house, or you don't got the money yet to rebuild the house? Come on now. So if you're burnt down. You're gonna go take a tent and sit outside knowing there's flames and stuff still brewing. The air is contaminated with chemicals and smoke. Did I clarify that good enough?
Not North Carolina.
So what?
You went back to California instead of North Carolina? Is that
It don't matter who I'm talking about. I'm saying the behavior. Now, Mary, you acting like you high now. I'm saying neither place don't matter. Flood, fire, the house is gone. What is the point of me camping outside the fucking house?
the fire part? I don't know.
No, you're trying to say North Carolina's different. How's it different?
Because they didn't know it was coming. A lot of those people.
They didn't know there's gonna be a fucking fire, Mary. How would they know that?
If it starts up the street and there's Santa Ana winds, you kind of got a clue.
Well, the people that didn't the street still didn't leave their house.
Well.
You understand what I'm saying? The embers flew where it wanted to fly. So you could have been 6-7 miles out and the embers hit your house or building. You don't have no control over that. So it's no different than the flood. You are living by a river bank. You hear water is coming, rain. You yourself that river won't flood. You in low-lying area near a river. I'm just saying.
I know, but it was still a little bit different.
It's not different. How is it different?
Because those rivers, that area, they don't get that kind of flood. That wasn't normal.
Well, okay, so you see what happened, though. Okay, but you still see what happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when it started getting cold, you're still out there camping in a fucking tent and all of that, talking about we ain't got no water, we ain't got no heat. Does that make any sense?
Okay, but is it because they don't have any other choice is what I'm trying to say.
Mary, you know fucking well you can go somewhere and get help. Now stop this now.
Well, I don't know.
You know damn well, listen, you know damn well the government has instructed people where they could go get some help for shelter. Like always, when we have a disaster, they're going to tell you and advise you to go somewhere. The people don't, you're not listening to my point. The people don't want to leave the motherfucking house. The reason why some of these people are going to be dead.
You're right. Some people.
Because they don't want to leave. Okay? With Florida, same thing. They then sent them people warnings about the rain, potential flooding. What did we hear? Well, I didn't want to leave. And it did happen 2 years ago, but I didn't think.
Okay, well, see, that's a little different. That's what I'm saying. North Carolina's a little bit different. If you're in Florida and you live on the damn beach, what you know that a hurricane's gonna happen. You see what I mean?
No, I'm not going to agree with you because there's people who doing the same thing. They don't live right near the hurricane area and they still stayed anyway. And then next thing we know that we still heard of some places that flooded that didn't think they were going to flood. So I'm just saying, how's it different?
I don't know why people do what the hell they do. I don't know.
But what I'm saying is you trying to give the people of North Carolina a pass to say, well, it ain't never rained this hard before.
Yeah.
Mary, you can see water.
I know.
When it rises. Come on now. You can see water when it rises. You don't wait till it's at your stomach to say, well, I think I'm going to start my car. Come on now. I'm just keeping it real. We've seen this happen 1,000 times with people in the floods. Even when they knew there was an area that could have a potential to flood, they still stayed anyway. You can't think that you live on a riverbank, rain is coming down, and you hearing the news broadcast, it's raining more than normal, and still in your mind, you wouldn't think the river wouldn't flood? I'm just trying to understand.
I don't know. I would probably leave, but that would just be me.
You would what?
I would probably personally leave.
Yeah, because it's let me tell you something. It don't have to flood for you to have common sense. We have seen creeks and rivers fill up, and then they leave that area, and then they roll over into the grass. See what I'm saying? And then your house could be so many feet. Well, where do you think that water's going to go? That's all I'm saying. How is it that you just assume the water is going to stay in the river or the creek? It don't got to stay there.
I don't think that's what they thought. I just don't think they thought it was going to be as bad as it was. As much water as it was.
Well, okay. So it stopped raining. The flood water started to dissipate, and yet you're still wanting to be outside of a flooded house.
Okay, no, I wouldn't want to do that.
Okay,
as long as there was another option.
That's what I'm.
The other damn option.
But that's what I'm talking about. But you still know that it doesn't make any sense to still be sleeping outside your house that's flooded. Is what I'm saying. How does that make any sense?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, that's the point I'm trying to make when I'm talking about North Carolina, is that even after the fucking floodwaters went down, the fucking people would not leave their property. So my thing is, if you don't have the money to rebuild, what is the purpose in sleeping outside of the property? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
I ain't gonna sleep outside. For what? I'm not gonna sleep outside if I did have the money. It started getting cold outside. First thing we started hearing was, well, they said, we ain't got no heat, we ain't got no water. So people looking at them like, okay, you still there? And they had told them it could be 3 months before you could get a power working. So the estimate would have been January. Well, we in January now. So just imagine somebody was sitting back there 3 months back, waiting to get power in their house for 3 months. That's all I'm saying. Make it make sense. Possibly get snow. Well, what you gonna do?
Amish.
Huh?
The Amish.
Well, what's your point, Mary?
You asked me who. I'm just saying.
What about the Amish?
They live without the power.
Say what?
They live without the power.
Mary.
What?
Have you heard of any dead Amish people dying in the winter? No, I'm just asking. Have you heard of any?
No.
Okay.
Not specifically.
Right. So that means they have some source of heat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Got the wood burning stoves and such.
Okay. Okay, so then why are you sitting here comparing that to this? You know what? You need to go back to bed or go lay down. Cause I don't know what the hell you on tonight. Gotcha, yes. I don't know what the hell wrong with her. Like I told, have you heard of some dead Amish people dying in the winter? Hundreds and hundreds of years of the Amish not living with electricity. Lord have mercy.
Okay.
I give up. I tell you what. No, we go fly your ass out there in California.
No. I've been. And
let you help out. Let you help them folks out there in California. You want to go out there?
No. Hell no.
And help. What you help carry a lantern? Lord have mercy.
A blowtorch for the bicycle.
Oh Lord. I bet you he got a mental problem. That's what's gonna be said in court. That's exactly what they're gonna say. He's mentally ill. He's been mentally ill for a long time. That's exactly what they're gonna say. Or they're gonna say that he's homeless. He's homeless. We'll just see what the judge says. But to hear somebody being an arsonist at a time like this, it's just devastating. Because we don't need no more fires And it's gonna be sad if he started what they say, Kenneth Fire. Let's see who they got. Westwood Recreation Center, Pasadena Civic Auditorium, Pomona. So they do have they got some places set up for the people to go for shelter here in LA County. Got a few places. Stoner Recreation Center, Calvary Community Church. That's about 5 places, I think, named. Emergency shelters. For anybody watching this Fox 11. Lord have mercy. Well, you done in the shop?
No.
Well, I'll let you get back to your work. I'm going to pull up these movie stars who lost their houses.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. I told you all I was going to see who has lost their homes, and then I'm going to check out of here because the fires, they definitely ain't stopping no damn time soon. They are still brewing. Prayers to those who passed away, their relatives, family. Prayers to those who lost their homes, business owners. This is uploaded 1 hour ago, everybody. Among the more than 80,000 people displaced were celebrities, many of whom have called the area home for decades. Leighton Meester and Adam Brody, Anna Faris, Ricky Lake, Carrie Ewells, Cameron Matheson, Spencer Pratt, and Heidi Montag have lost their houses. Many others include Mario Lopez, Molly Sims, Kid Cudi, and BB Rexa have shared that they have evacuated as the fire continues to spread. The first fire started in Pacific Palisades on Tuesday, January 7th. Videos show devastation in the seaside community. As Pacific Palisades resident Maria Schreiber wrote on Instagram, heartbreaking, devastating, beyond belief. Everyone is gone. Our neighborhood, our restaurants, all our friends have lost everything. The Eden fire, also called the Close Fire, followed, sparking around 6:30 p.m. Tuesday. By late Wednesday morning, it had exploded to 10,000 acres across Pasadena and Altadena. By 16:15 a.m. on Wednesday, January 8th, the Woodley fire was ablaze, seizing 75 acres in its wake. Northward of that, the Hearst fire, which grew to about 500 acres in size, sparked around 10:30 p.m. on Tuesday and was still going around 5 a.m. on Wednesday. A fifth blaze, the Tyler fire, sparked west of LA near Coachella and was 50% contained at the time of this writing. On Thursday, a new fire, the Kenneth fire, was being investigated as arson and was growing rapidly. Many entertainment events and filmings were postponed as a result of the catastrophe, which as of Wednesday evening had claimed lives, 5 as I last reported during this live stream. It was already being called the most destructive fire in the history of Los Angeles County, with more than 1,100 structures destroyed and 27,000 acres impacted so far. And if you need to know what that equivalency is, that's about 20,000 football fields. 27,000 acres. This Is Us star Milo Ventimiglia returned to his burnt-out home with CBS Evening News' Tony Docapil and called the experience heavy. He said he and his wife, Jaria Moriana, who was 9 months pregnant, watched the fire engulf their home on security cameras. We'll make do, he said, after surveying the destruction. Wife and baby are most important. And you can feel free to go to CBS News to watch that interview and also on X. Actors and parents to twins Brian Greenberg and Jamie Chung lost their home in a fire. Greenberg confirmed on Instagram Thursday. I'll show you a picture of that couple. They lost their home. Nothing. Look at the background. Looks like something out of a movie. The dark yellow sky. Lord have mercy. John C. Riley. Home was destroyed in the fire. Photos confirm his manager did not immediately return requests for comment. Actor John C. Riley. Many of you know of him. He's been in a lot of movies. That is what's left of his home. Gone. White ash. Wow. Colby Smulders and Teron Killam. They had a house in Pacific Palisades where they lived with their two daughters, destroyed by the fire. This couple here, their home is also gone. This is the remains of their house. Yeah, it looks like I see a house in the background. Strange. Eugene Levy. He plays on Schitt's Creek, 78 years of age. Found himself stuck by black and intense smoke over Temescal Canyon as he tried to leave his home. I couldn't see any flames, but the smoke was very dark, the actor added. His son, Dan Levy, posted to Instagram stories, heartbroken for my family, my friends, and the people of LA affected by these catastrophic fires. TV show, I think it's a TV show, Schitt's Creek. Mr. Levy, his house. It's nothing. Miles Teller and CALI Teller lost a $7.5 million home in Pacific Palisades they bought in 2023. A rep did not respond to requests for comment. Oh, my favorite actor, Anthony Hopkins. Damn. He turned 87 at the end of 2024. He lost his Pacific Palisades home, the apparent location where he often posts videos on his popular TikTok playing the piano or getting ready for the Oscars. According to the Daily Mail, he moved there in 2021, several years after his Malibu home was narrowly spared from the Woolsey fire in 2018. He also previously lost his home in London to a fire in 2000. Wow. A rep did not respond to requests for comment. Lord have mercy. Wow, 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 wow. Just middle. And I told you about Adam Brody and Leighton Meester. Wow, they had a nice house. You could tell that was a nice house. They had 2 children. John Goodman, everybody remember him from Roseanne? Pacific Palisades home as well. Ricky Lake. Hold on one second. They showed her on, they didn't show her house, but they showed her on her Instagram. I guess she gave a comment. Hold on. She said, "It's all gone. I can't believe I'm typing these words. After a valiant and brave effort by our friend and hero, Kirby Kotler, Ross and I lost our dream home. This description, dream home, doesn't suffice. It was our heaven on earth, the place where we planned to grow old together. We never took our heavenly spot on the bluff overlooking our beloved Malibu for granted, not even for 1 second. I shared our sunset views almost daily with all of you. This loss is immeasurable. It's the spot where we got married 3 years ago. I grieve along with all those suffering during this apocalyptic event, praying for all of my neighbors, friends, community, animals, firefighters, first responders, more to share soon of how we escaped with Dolly and not much else. For now, I grieve." Wow. I can't even get this to pull up. What is the deal? So that was the view. I guess probably backyard overlooking the canyons. A lot of flowers. It's now gone. You're welcome, sweetheart. Looks very nice place to sit and watch sun go down, come up, coffee, wine, read a good book, relax. It's all gone now. Wow. Ricky Lake. Cameron Matheson. Hold on, everybody. Oh, wow. This is really unbelievable. And yet there's people who refuse to leave. It's so sickening. I don't think people really understand. When they say get out, they mean get out. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Damn, damn, damn. Still smoking. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine coming home to this? Running away from this, coming back to this. It's terrible. That's Cameron Mathis. It's a guy. Oh, Lord. Posted that to Instagram. He's a soap star, plays on a soap opera. We are safe, but this is what's left of our beautiful home, our home where our kids were raised and want to raise their own someday, he wrote under the post. Thanks to all who reached out and checked in. Can't respond to all, so wanted to give an update here. We had to send in so many prayers, everyone being affected by these. Then we have Miss Paris Hilton, as everyone knows who Paris Hilton is. We're going to show Paris Hilton's.
I mean, now that we're getting some daylight, what are you seeing in that area? Programming. We hear you, but not programming. And obviously tough connections right now. Tony, can you hear us? Okay, I hear the producer. I do not. Okay, here we go.
It's Paris Hilton. She watched, I think, on the news with her family. Happy memories she and her family had there, sitting with my family, watching the news and seeing our home in Malibu burn to the ground on live TV is something no one should ever have to experience, she wrote in part. This home was where we built so many precious memories. It's where Phoenix took his first steps and where we dreamed of building a lifetime of memories with London. While the loss is overwhelming, excuse me, hold on. I'm on to gratitude that my family is safe. My heart and prayers are going out to every family affected by these fires. Lord have mercy, what a mess. That would have been the front facade of the house, I guess, where it was up in flames. Dark, gloomy, can't hardly see with all the smoke. The smoke's so heavy. Paris Hilton. Truly indescribable. When I first saw the news, I was in complete shock. I couldn't process it, but now standing here and seeing it with my own eyes, it feels like my heart has shattered into a million Let's see. What else she had to say? That was on X. I'm probably not be able to pull that up. Anyway, it's just all depressing. So now we have this African-American lady or African lady, I don't know, she's a black woman. Bozoma St. John confirmed on Instagram. Her house also been shown the outside. Her house is gone as well. Reality TV star, Housewives of Beverly Hills, house gone now. Oh, Lordy, 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 Lordy. Picture of her, Bozoma St. John. House gone. She said, "This was my F.U. I'm here house," she wrote in part. "This is the house where I finally felt like I could choose to spend time when I wanted to and how I wanted to. It is gone. This is an unimaginable loss. Be with the rest of Los Angeles as it burns." Jeff Bridges. His home was in Malibu. Bridges, his sister, and their brother Bo had inherited the house together. They have not shown a picture of Jeff Bridges, famous actor. I don't have a picture of his house, but it was in Malibu. Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mother. A view from her house before it burned. Looking at the dolphin film. Wow, wow, wow. It's her other house in Texas. They're talking about condemning it because it's about to fall apart. Now she's lost this house. She's having a lot of bad luck, Miss Knowles, when it comes to homes. The other house is deteriorating in a coastal town in Texas. I don't know what's going to happen there, but that house either. But the people and neighbors have been complaining because it's falling apart. I don't know why she hasn't sold it. She said, "It was my favorite place, my sanctuary, my sacred, happy place. Now it's gone. God bless the brave men and women in our fire department who risked their lives in dangerous conditions," she said. "Thank you for your dedication and bravery and for saving so many lives. This could have been so much worse without the dedication of the disaster workers and first responders. Amen." Candy Spelling. Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. You got to be kidding me. Miss Millionaire Tycoon, who was left with a big old lump sum of money from her husband, Mr. Aaron Spelling. You mean to tell me her house is gone? And the late legendary TV producer, Aaron. The Malibu beachfront home owned for 50 years. Though she had put it up for sale several times recently, she had taken it off the market and said to the outlet, "I'm in shock and processing this massive loss for our family. I am beyond grateful for the memories. It was truly a wonderful gift." Most of you know Miss Spelling. They don't show the house. Wow, wow, wow. Diane Warren. Her house is gone. It was a beach house. I guess this was the view from it. I don't have a picture of the house, but that was a view from the house. She had her house for 30 years. Wow. Jean Aiko, she posted to Instagram her house about hers. I have to go to, these are all entertainers. Her house is gone. Billy Crystal, his house is gone as well. 55 years almost in his house. Anna Faris, most of you know her from TV. Pacific Palisades, where she lived with her family. Jennifer Gray. Denise Crosby. Yesterday morning, I had a beautiful Spanish cottage that gave me endless joy where I met my husband and raised my son, the only house I've ever owned. With fruit trees I grew with a garden of native plants, now ashes. I am heartbroken. Wow. Sorry, lady. Mae Riley. She's a celebrity stylist who works with Eva Longoria and Coco Jones. She posted Wednesday that her house had burned down. Everything is gone. Shortly after, she shared that she had to drive to Beverly Hills to evacuate her in-laws. This feels like a bad dream. Everything we own is in this truck, she wrote on Instagram. Lord have mercy. Jen Atkin, picture of her house. Celebrity hairstylist, and I guess, I don't know how you pronounce that, OU founder. Husband Mike Rosenthal and their dog evacuated the home. House is gone. It's almost too much to comprehend. Our neighbors are all taking care of one another and checking in. And that's the theme for 2025. She wrote on Instagram stories. We're going to be okay. We always push through. I'm just so sad I left my grandma Atkins church blazer with her tissues and Tic Tacs in the pockets. Wow. Then she had another post. I feel so grateful for my family. That my family's together. I also feel scared and sad. I guess so. It's the purpose of having memories. Hold on, let's see who else we got. JJ Redick's family. LA Lakers coach JJ Redick revealed that his family were freaking out as they were among those forced to evacuate their home amid the fires. Ahead of the Lakers versus Mavericks game in Dallas on January 7th, his thoughts and prayers to everyone in the Palisades right now, adding, "That's where I live. Our family, my wife's family, my wife's twin sister, they've evacuated. I know a lot of people are freaking out right now, including my family. Thoughts and prayers for sure." Wow. So now it has been confirmed by ESPN that his house has burned down, Mr. Redick. Melissa Rivers, she has lost her home as well. And what's strange is I was watching a TV show about home decor last year where the girl from California who does the designs, that remodels homes, I can't think of her name, it's a blonde-haired lady, her estimate for that house to remodel, I think it was her bathroom, was at like $200,000, something like that. And Melissa didn't really want to pay the money because she's like, "Oh, it's so much money." And now, imagine that. Video I watched of her bathroom being redone to now her house is gone. And as I told this chat, that State Farm has not renewed certain homeowners insurance policies in California because of the fire. So if you did not know that, you now know. A lot of people in California do not have a homeowners insurance because, one, State Farm has not renewed their policies. They didn't renew their own policies, and most companies will not give anyone in California fire insurance, if you did not know that. This is probably the first network you've probably heard that on. Carrie Ools, he's an actor. God, I didn't know it was going to be this many people. Lord, mercy. wow, wow. He said, posting terrifying video of devastation he was passing as he evacuated his Malibu home. We're grateful to have survived this truly devastating fire and extending gratitude to the first responders and those sending well wishes. Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag, you probably remember them from reality TV. I don't think any of these were arson except for the last two, perhaps. Kenneth, they believe, might be arson, and then they already arrested the guy for setting some garbage cans on fire or something. I mean, that fire is red. Look at it. Woo, my goodness. Red and yellow. Jeez.
Oh, wow, it's back there.
God, look at it. It's so dramatic. Oh, my goodness. Spencer Pratt. Now, you can't put that out with a water hose. Look how close they are. See what I'm saying? Nobody thinks. You shouldn't even be that close. And there's their house. Oh my gosh. And they're standing there. Why? Why would you be standing there? Oh, Lord, come on. Y'all can't be this crazy now. Nightmare came true. The father of the two captioned the video. Thank God we're safe. It's just no words. Carolyn Murphy. Wow. I didn't think I was going to be having this many videos, people. She said, we are safe. I can hardly read that print. Something about the dogs. Oh, dogs are safe, and that's all that matters, she wrote. She added in a subsequent story that my heart goes out for everyone in the community. I pray all wildlife is safe. Our rascally bobcat, our fierce mountain lion, the silly coyotes, wattling skunks, sleek foxes, and singing birds. Yeah, what about the wildlife? Didn't think about that. Mario Lopez. Damn, Mario. Hate to hear that. He says, our house is a mess, but still standing. Thank God for that, and expressing his sorrow for the devastation and gratitude to the firefighters. Molly Sims. Overwhelming and painful. So special to our family, and then sharing a tearful video in which she stated that many friends had lost homes and her family was waiting to see if our home will be there. She has confirmed that her house survived the fire. James Woods, famous actor. Picture of his house in the background. Lordy, 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 Lordy. He said a lot of houses on our street didn't make it. He tweeted that out at 4 p.m. on January 7th. One day you're swimming in the pool, the next day it's all gone. So his house is a total loss as well. Chrissy Teigen. Everybody knows who she is. Famous model. Married to a famous musician, John Legend. Wow, wow, wow. Feeling a black bag from her closet. This is so real, she said, adding that she was very scared. She's 39 years of age. Described the blazes as a hell escape. You think about all the money these people spend to buy their home, put all this lavish furniture in there. They probably had a grand piano because he plays the piano, John Legend. Designer duds, clothes, shoes, jewelry, faux jewelry, real jewelry, all to end up in flames. Something to think about. Brian Greenberg and Jamie Chung, because I showed you that picture earlier. One Tree Hill alum and Bride Wars actress destroyed in the Los Angeles fires. It was all a dream. Thankfully, the family is safe. Thank you all. To all of the firefighters risking their lives. Stay safe out there, he wrote on top of a picture that appeared to be ruins of their home. Lord have mercy. Julianne Ho, 36, Dancing with the Stars. So there's a fire right by my house. We're with friends, but anybody that's in the Hollywood Hills, I've just been having this intuitive feeling that we're in a bowl of how everything is surrounding Hollywood, and now this is at the center of Hollywood. She's urging her neighbors to get out. Everyone needs to just evacuate. Go, 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 go right now, she said. Well, sadly, Julianne, some people didn't want to leave. Kate Beckinsale. Wow. Get out of town. Everybody knows who Kate Beckinsale is, actress. Look at that. Wow, 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 wow. You can't make this up. Oh my gosh. That's why I said nighttime is more dramatic than looking during the day.
Here's what we know at this hour.
Oh, Lord have mercy. That's a lot to digest right there. Holland Taylor, TV actress. Oh, Lord. She said, we have lost our entire Canyonette. Grateful beyond words, horrified by this catastrophic, unimaginable loss of homes, several thousands of families. Rob McElhenney. Don't know him. 47. Reaching out to ensure the safety. He said the gesture made their hearts so full. So many homes, whole neighborhoods are just gone. He's, I guess, a TV actor. Mandy Moore. Many of you know Mandy Moore, singer. Grateful for the kindness of friends that we had. A place to land last night, trying to shield the kids from the immense sadness and worry I feel, praying for everyone in our beautiful city. So gutted for the destruction and loss. Don't know if our place made it. Okay. She was absolutely numb to see the devastation in her hometown of Altadena. I'm in shock and feeling numb for all so many have lost, including my family. My children's school is gone. Our favorite restaurants leveled. So many friends and loved ones have lost everything too. Our community is broken, but we will be here to rebuild together. Yeah, I guess. Sending love to all affected and on the front lines trying to get this under control. Yes, we need to pray for our firefighters because it's exhausting to fires. Mandy Moore. So I'm going to say this again. Who would stay in a house or neighborhood with this going on? Who would camp outside? Stand out trying to save it with a water hose? That is the point of this live stream. 3 hours and 21 minutes in. The foolishness and the arrogance of many who will not accept that God had a hand in this. It was nature at work, and you cannot defy nature. You have no control over the fire and the embers. You have to surrender. As they say, you can always rebuild, buy more things, but you cannot relive life once gone. Sandra Lee, Malibu.
It's right here. I got everything I could.
Wow. People don't really think. House. He says, Mary Lou Trix and I arrive at Chelsea's house in Hollywood. Most horrific fire since '93. Stay safe. Evacuated Malibu last minute. There are small fires on both sides of the road as we approach Pacific Coast Highway. Mark Hamill, well-known actor, been in the business a long time. Jamie Lee Curtis, damn. Jamie Lee Curtis, most of you know from the Halloween franchise. Star of Halloween. Halloween movies. Oh my goodness, damn girl. Lord have mercy. Jeez, gas station. Whew. As they say, seeing is believing, is it not? Lord, what are you trying to tell us? Now, do you see anybody out walking around looking for coffee, somewhere to eat? Hell no. So what type of crazy person walks around fire-ridden buildings looking for coffee? Feel free to go back to the beginning of this slide to get that information. A woman went out of her area looking for damn coffee. It's like, are you serious? You cannot be that thirsty for coffee. You see nobody's on the street, nobody's riding around, nobody's walking, nobody's riding a bicycle. You all got to do better. You all have got to use your senses and your faculties in a horrific situation because it can be a matter of life and death. This is not a joke. People have died. Homes are burned. Probably animals gone as well. Then you also have to think about the natural habitat of the animals. Where are they going to go? Stay woke. They got to run out now and find another habitat. Wow, this is a lot. She's going block for block. Jesus wept. All from the winds. Jeez. Scary. Can you imagine driving around your neighborhood looking at this? Wondering if your house is safe. God forbid you had to leave your house. Thinking, I probably won't have a house to return to. And some of these people are probably well off. They have money in the bank. But it's still devastating because you're having to endure it. And as I said, a lot of people are very wealthy. So they have a lot, they have a lot of valuables, clothes, things like that. But once again, those are things you can replace. I think I showed mostly everybody who lost their homes. Hold on, everybody. I'll make sure about it. People Magazine is the source of this information. If you're curious, you want to verify all the people that lost their homes. I'm trying to see what number, because they named all of them by numbers. From the young to the older, all different walks of life, races, ages, lost their homes, naturally. Some famous, some are not famous. Let's see, 33, 34. Oh, Lordy. Can't remember, there's only one person in the house was saved. Jamie Lee, she was 42. This is a church that burned, posted by Jamie Lee Curtis. She said it had a beautiful Sunday school, gorgeous house of worship, building that I got sober in 25 years ago. I think of all the souls who came there for comfort, solace, and all the baptisms, funerals, weddings, thousands of people who reclaimed their lives through sobriety. Also the Women's Club in the Palisades where I met many sober people. Both are gone. Tough times. We will persevere. God bless you all. Jamie Lee Curtis. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Oh, I liked old Jennifer. Wow, wow, wow. 43. 43 famous people. Tara Lipinski. Oh, Lordy. Maria Shriver, 45. Brad Paisley and Kimberly Williams, 46. Alabama and Landon Barker. Hold on. He was in the dark, I guess, when they filmed that. Duff Goldman, 48. Food Network. Trump Hotel didn't blow up. You know that. Yvonne Strahovski. That's going to pronounce the name correct. Steve Gutenberg. Damn, Steve.
I wonder if I could just make, here on Palisades Drive, if anybody has a car and they leave the keys in the car so that we can move your car so that these fire trucks can get on Palisades Drive.
Yeah, they talked about that.
Is people take their keys with them as if they're in a parking lot. This is not a parking lot. Yeah. We really need people to move their cars. So if you leave your car on Palisades Drive, leave the key in there so a guy like me can move your cars and get them up there so that these fire trucks can get up there. It's really, really important.
Thank you for talking to us live, sir. What's your name?
My name is Steve Gutenberg.
Steve, do you live in this area?
I live in the area. I live right up the hill. Thank goodness somebody back. But I have friends up there right now. And
he don't even know who he is.
Because it's stuck on Palisades Drive.
He don't know he's an actor.
You're an actor.
Yeah, I'm an actor.
Okay.
Oh, now you know? Okay.
You look familiar to me now.
Wow.
Yeah. So, sir, do you have family up there? I was just talking to that gentleman. He has a mom who's stuck up in the hills.
Yeah, there are people stuck up there. So we're trying to clear Palisades Drive, and I'm walking up there as far as I can, moving cars. But people don't take their keys with them as if it's a parking lot. There are families up there. There are pets up there. There are people who really need help.
And you told us that this is one of those situations. We have seen this. People are not able to move. We were in our live truck. We couldn't even move. They told us to bust a U-turn. I've never seen traffic this slow.
Well, of course, we've got a huge fire up there. We got huge winds right now. And it's really important for people to help each other. It's really important for everybody to band together. And don't worry about your personal property. Just get out. Get your loved ones and get out. I have friends up there that can't get out right now.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
They've been given evacuation orders.
Have you been?
That's why you have to go.
Do you talk to them?
I spoke to everybody up there. It's starting to move.
We're seeing the cars. Okay, so we're seeing the cars that he's talking about, but they're moving very slowly. If you notice this, they're trickling in, coming from the top of the hill, car by car.
People leave their cars right there, and they have not left the keys in there. So all these people have trouble getting down. Yeah. So I'm just trying to tell everybody, if you leave your car,
this is why you have to leave
fire, make sure
in time. You have to.
Key in the car. So
first
like
time you think you smell smoke, you better get on out.
I'm worried about people, loved ones up there.
Because they got the road blocked.
Trapped?
They can't get out, you know. And thank goodness most of the areas up there. Some areas actually do have a lot of fire around them. Some don't.
So they literally cannot get out of their homes?
They can get out of their homes. They can go to the gates of these gated communities or these communities, but they just can't get down Palisades Drive up there. So that's what the problem is. People aren't either. It's really incredible traffic.
That's why they tell you not to wait till the last minute. That's why the roads are blocked from everybody getting out at the last minute.
Everybody's got to band together now. Don't worry about your personal property. Take your pictures and everything, but just get out.
We've noticed that. We've noticed people with their dogs. Like a lady over here, Armando, as you see, she just has, I think that's a dog or a cat that she's holding, and just 51. A bag. So they're just trying to get out of here, and some people are saying, forget it. We need to be very careful. We got to get going, guys. Our firefighter, thank you so much.
And with him, 52, if his house is burned. I've shown you 51 people, including Mr. Gutenberg. So 50 people. So imagine how many people who you don't know of, who've lost a house, evacuated. This is serious business. As I said before, I made this live stream so some of you can think. You're going to have to use your faculties in a dire situation. You don't have time to ponder. You have to act. This is why you, as I always said, I was talking to someone, before, a day or two before, you have to keep everything together, all business papers, things like that. If you have the chance to get out of your house during a flood, fire, you grab that bag, that file folder, whatever, and get your ass out of Dodge. Okay? Keep all your business papers together, in a briefcase or something you can just grab and run out. You don't have time to be looking for Social Security cards, birth certificates, and all those things. You need to have all that together in an envelope. I keep all my in like a patent leather makeup case. So if something happens, I just grab that case and I'm gone. Everything to prove who I am as a person. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you have to do. Birth certificates, IDs, anything, military IDs, you keep all that in one container that you can grab when it's time to go. And some people didn't leave, and that's why there's going to probably be more deaths, because the people who don't want to leave for some crazy reason. A lot of people didn't think the fire was going to come their way, but as it has been said, the wind's blowing the embers. It's dry. Earth, grass, whatever, trees catch on fire. The embers are blowing. The wind is high. That's why you have different places catching on fire. One place won't have a fire, then the next place will. And you can't assume your area will catch fire. It could be 6-7 miles down the road, and you're thinking, oh, it ain't going to affect me. That's 10, 15 minutes away. But the wind is blowing. So you can't tell the wind where to go. And if you know you're living in a place and the wind is blowing, so it don't matter that something is 10, 15 minutes away, that ain't got nothing to do with the wind. And that's why I think a lot of people, they're just, as I said, you just assume it's not near you. Oh, that's down the street. Oh, that's 2 blocks over. I'm all right. The wind ain't 2 blocks away. You have no control over the wind. And you definitely don't have control over the fire. They are working together. And not for your benefit. Prayers for Los Angeles County. Prayers for all those who have lost a home, pet. Thank all firefighters, first responders, law enforcement, military. I don't know if the military is coming. Thanking Canada for bringing in their airplanes to help with the water, to fill the water up. And whoever put that drone out, you got to be ashamed of yourself. You're meddling in grown folks' business and official business. You want to see what's going on? We have there's news channels that are showing you what's going on in LA County. Because if they find out who the drone belongs to, your ass is going to jail. For the looters, same thing. Breaking and entering in people's homes, you're going to jail. Should there be a curfew? Yes. You have no reason to be wandering around in any of these locations. For what reason? They're fires. So what are you looking for? Nothing. Looking to find a way to be incarcerated. That's it. And here is the map of power shutoffs to prevent wildfire risk. See, nobody is thinking of the worst case scenario besides the fires burning homes and people. You have to also consider the gas lines, power outages, power lines on the ground. All of that can jumpstart more fires. So think. Think. Nobody's thinking. It's more to it than just fires burning houses and trees and grass and bushes, buildings. You have power lines. You have gas lines. Take it serious. Almost 20,000 acres, 6% contained, 5,000 structures, 60,000 people under evacuation. There it said 2 people have died, but right now it is a total of 5. That's out of Palisades, just 2 and 3 in another location. That's my commentary. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comment below this video. Follow the Queen on the Newsbreak app where I give similar commentary and content. God bless America. God bless America, because we need it. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $BeGanji, 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. I don't know what the hell's going on with nature, people, politics. Of course, we make the politics. But God is trying to tell us something. And the first of the year was already horrific, with a man mowing down people in New Orleans on Bourbon Street and a man unaliving himself in Las Vegas in front of the Trump Hotel. Those 2 crimes allegedly are not connected, says the FBI, but the point still remains. We are in dire times. You're entitled to believe what you want about either situation, these fires, but the earth is telling on itself. It's telling on itself with nature, and it's telling on itself with its inhabitants. And naturally, the earth ain't happy either. The people aren't happy. Mother Nature, she's definitely not happy. And the earth itself isn't happy. Stay woke. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. You have been listening to the Vault XL. Once again, prayers for LA County.